has to get it together. I'm almost thinking that when McGee gets back, Duvall gets the 9th inning, McGee maybe gets the 7th or 8th, and Watson gets the 7th or 8th, and you move Watson up to like the 6th inning. I don't like. I think it's a good problem to have getting McGee back.
No doubt. There's no doubt about it. Doesn't it feel like Watson's the guy that everyone just sleeps on?
I mean, your dad was on it.
Your
dad was on it. Everybody's going crazy over Chris Bryant. He goes, "Oh, I like the Tony Watson move. Tony Watson moves clutch," and it was clutch.
Yeah.
It was a nice, sneaky move by Farhad Zaidi here. So to patch up this bullpen here as we get ready for October. And by the way, the biggest story coming out of Oracle Park, which I couldn't get over, and it's unbelievable what I'm about to say, considering how I felt about Brandon Belt throughout his career. The Giants are going to miss Brandon Belt.
They did already in that game.
It was reported that he's going to miss at least 4 weeks with the fractured thumb. And if you look at the 4-week timetable, he could be eligible to come back game 1 of the World Series.
See, I think that's an aggressive timetable in terms of keeping everyone off the scent. That was like, when Kevin Durant hurt himself and they were like, we're going to give it like a month or whatever.
3 to 6 weeks, yeah.
They just threw the number out there to just kind of back everybody off, which I would do too. Undersell, over-deliver. If I think push comes to shove, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be ready to go middle of the NLCS. Just because it's not your glove hand, you're not required to throw that much. You could put the splint. It's not his bottom lead hand for swinging. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too aggressive. I don't know what the exact fracture
It's a big
is.
loss. It's a big loss for him because
he had an error yesterday.
He had an error yesterday. You think about Brandon Belt, the 29 home runs in 97 games, but the blow into that clubhouse. Now they were able to rally, but you think about what he's gone through emotionally off the field with his grandmother passing away, dealing with all the injuries, not having a contract ready to go for next season, and that happens. You get hit by a pitch, and the irony is you're trying to butt, and next thing you know, you get hit by a pitch, 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and you're out for possibly four weeks. But the report is they're going to evaluate him week to week, but they think it's going to be 4 weeks from Brandon Belt. So we really have no idea. He's out this week. And he's probably going to be out next week.
Yeah, and B, they're going to obviously miss his bat. That's no doubt about it. But it feels like all these injuries are coming at a really bad time for the Giants because you had Tommy Lassella leave the game with, I guess I saw reported some sort of an Achilles strain or concerns over the Achilles. That's not good.
That's not good. Dickerson
got hit in the foot and then ended up staying in.
Darren Ruff is on the IL right now.
Estrada got hit by a pitch.
It did, and that looked bad for a second for Estrada. I was like, geez, is this happening right now? But Wilmer Flores is back, and he had that key single there in the bottom of the 6th inning to get the Giants to go ahead and run. Getting Wilmer Flores back, Donovan Solano looks like he's weathered the storm here. He's starting to have better at-bats here down the stretch. Look, the one thing we talked about with this team is the depth of the lineup. This is where the depth of the lineup is going to be important moving forward. You need all these bats now, especially without the big boys like Brandon Belt being in this lineup. So you're right. These injuries are happening at the wrong time, right when you're rolling and getting on the roll here, playing some damn good baseball in the month of September. They are playing phenomenal baseball overall when you look at the win-loss record.
They tied the most amount of wins in San Francisco Giants history, and they're on pace to break the all-time franchise record, 106. This is insane. 1902, I'm seeing John McGraw's name thrown around and what they could do. Whenever you're compared to John McGraw and stuff that happened 100 million years ago, we're in uncharted territory. I mean, it's an unbelievable year. And there's just so many reasons to be thankful and to love this team and see where they go. Just win the West. I feel like if they can win the West, they can take a deep breath. And here's an element I don't think people are talking enough about. So much has been made of the St. Louis Cardinals and the run that they've been on, which has been outstanding.
17 straight.
I mean, it's not like the Giants have had to take their foot off the gas. They've been playing playoff baseball for a month and a half, too.
17 straight's damn good.
No, I know it is. But like Bonte, I feel like it's not like the Giants have had breathing room, right?
They've had to win.
Their foot on the gas the whole time. So the one positive outcome for both the Giants and the Dodgers being so great and pushing each other is that they've played playoff baseball for weeks on end.
They have.
And I don't think we've talked enough about that.
They've had no choice but to play playoff baseball. Had no choice. But being up 2 games as the Dodgers beat the Padres yesterday 2-1.
Buehler got over 200 innings pitched.
Yeah, I know.
He looked good.
Scherzer's on the mound
It was
today.
a get-right game for him.
Scherzer's on the mound today. He's done nothing but good for the Dodgers outside of that one start in Colorado where he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. Look, this team's not slowing down.
No.
But you have to avoid the wild card. I was listening to Langford coming in today, and he was discussing this. Like, the Cardinals are playing so well with Tyler O'Neill. This guy's come out of nowhere, and he's hitting everything. Nolan Arenado, Goldschmidt, Flaherty's back. Wainwright's pitching well. The Giants have to win this division. They have to win this division considering the fact that Brandon Bell's not going to be around. You don't know what's going to happen with Dickerson. Will Ruff be back? What's up with this pitching staff? A 1-game playoff Logan Webb against that lineup? That concerns me. You have to win the division. You cannot take your foot off the gas pedal here. And Arizona, look, credit them. They're 53 games behind the Giants. Think about that. 53 games behind the first-place team. 53 games behind the first-place team.
Kind of insane.
That's kind of insane. It's laughable.
And yet they're still fighting.
50-107. Hell, how about this? Here's context for you. The Diamondbacks are behind the Rockies, who are in 4th place in the West. They're 22 games behind the 4th-place team.
Wow.
That is insane.
Well, when 2 teams have 102, 103 wins, somebody's got to have a bunch of losses, and it seems to be the Diamondbacks. So, B, this has been an unbelievable pennant race. It's been one of the great ones that I can remember. I wasn't around for 1962, the old school, only one team can make the playoffs pennant race situation. But
only pennant race in our lifetime is what, 93?
Yeah.
Or 2010 against the Padres.
Yeah,
the Padres were up 10 games.
Yeah, 2010 was a good one. Their destiny was tied in that final weekend series because you knew the 2 teams were going to go up against each other. The Padres really, I mean, people forget it in now 11 years later.
Right.
They had full control of that division and completely pooped it away.
This is why I love our roasters real quick. We're going to talk Niners later. We'll get back into Andrew Wiggins and what's going on with the Warriors practice. Starting to see videos out. Clay's dribbling. Wiseman's dribbling. Kuminga's playing defense.
Yeah, if I'm buying stock on anyone right now,
it's Jonathan Kuminga.
I'm buying all the Jonathan Kuminga stock that you're willing to give me.
Give me all the Kuminga stock. I love Kuminga. But our roasters are great. They notice the little things about us.
Oh.
They roast with us every single day. And he's 650. Bonte rocking a collared shirt. We talking to the boss today? They just know it's meeting day here at Odyssey. It's meeting day. Stacy Kaufman, our big regional manager.
Yeah.
She's got an all hands on deck meeting at 1 p.m. So we'll be trotting into that meeting with bags under our eyes with no nap. Say, hey, Stacy, we're here. We're off at 10, but we're here 3 hours later. We're here. Hi, Stacy.
See, this is the difference between you and me. You dress up for these once-in-a-blue moon occasions. You know, I dress up on random days. But I've got relationships with Stacy. She now follows me on Instagram.
Oh, she follows me, too.
And, you know, we were DMing the other night, and she's just a big fan.
Hey, she follows me, too. I say, who's this following me? I'm like, Stacy, who? Oh, okay. Oh, that's the boss. Maybe I should follow her back.
I want to know what the etiquette is here.
Trying to flex how she follows me.
No, I want to hear what the etiquette is here. Is there anything kind of like, not weirder, but there are certain people you feel obligated to follow on Instagram?
Yes.
Even though you don't necessarily consider them someone that is Instagrammable, followable, or whatever. I don't even know how I'm designating this, but like they're not worthy of a follow.
Right.
But yet you feel obligated to give them a follow.
No doubt.
So what is your criteria for a follow?
Ooh. That's tough.
Langford.
That's tough. So,
Langford, if you're an Instagram model, I'm following you.
No, I don't follow the models because I don't need Anna looking at who I'm following. Like, oh, you follow so-and-so, huh? No, what are you talking about? Oh, that must have been a slip-up. So I don't follow them. Those are pages you just look at and you delete the evidence.
You are Deion Sanders over here.
Yeah, it's just a backpedal, right? But like Matt Nahigian, our program director, was following me for a long time. I had no idea. Oh. But I was like, damn, should I follow him back? Do I really want to follow the boss man back?
Yeah, you want to see pictures of him and his dog in a darkly lit room?
It's like, yeah, I guess you have to, right? You have to know the person. That's criteria number one. You have to at least know the person.
And do you throw them on mute?
There are some people on mute on Instagram. There are some people muted.
The mute button's the most beautiful thing in social media.
But I just unfollow. If I'm going to mute you, I just unfollow you. What's the point? But there's some people I muted because they post all day long, right?
Yeah.
They post all day long, and it's just like, you know what? I gotta mute you. What about you? What's your criteria?
It depends. You know, I have a family and friends portfolio, if you will, and then obviously I try to, you know, hit the follow back on certain people that I think might be able to boost my career. You know, you got to play the game, as we like to say.
What about fans, listeners, roasters? Because I follow a lot of roasters.
I'll hit it on a bunch of people. I'm not one of the people who's got like 10,000 follows and 10,000.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's you got to have the ratio, right?
Well, that's what Nash told me. That one of the producers here is that my ratio was off on Twitter and Insta and all these things. And I'm like, look, I got a lot of friends. Like, I mean, I feel, you know, got to throw some love out there. I'm an equal opportunist like poster. So like if you post something, I'll just hit the double and just keep it moving.
Just keep it moving.
Double, boom. I feel obligated to hit the double a lot.
Make some day. Just nothing to press
the double
heart.
tap is the heart.
Double tap. Just do it.
I had an invention that I had thought about for a long time. You know, Facebook was a big thing and everything was like. And this is before the dislike button.
And people that didn't like, they were just haters.
Well, I wanted to create hate book. Right, and then just thing that I hate on, you know what I mean? But
you are a hater.
That did not materialize.
No, it did not.
That's essentially what Twitter is nowadays, though.
That's a good point.
That is. People just hate.
Yeah.
They don't hit that retweet. They don't hit that like. They don't want to hit that like. They don't want you clogging their page up. It's
you know what
weird.
Twitter's become? Well, actually.
Yeah.
And everyone's an all-22 expert.
Yeah.
Everybody's a BABIP expert.
Real quick.
Everybody's an advanced analytic, an investing expert. It's like, come on, dude.
So what about the attendance yesterday?
So now this is interesting.
The attendance yesterday, 28,122. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to our roasters. I had to watch the final 2 innings when I got here to work today. Seventh inning
So
happened,
now you're coming around on where I'm at.
Here's the thing.
It's okay.
No.
You can give an inch. I'll take a mile.
You know what? When you work a morning show, I would not have this complaint if I worked from 10 to 2. If I work from 10 to 2, game lasts till 10:30. Well,
but how many people in America work 10 to 2?
Yeah, I mean, I know that. Maybe 9. Even if I started at 9 o'clock, I would stay up until 10:30. Most people start at 9 o'clock. Right? 9 to 5.
It depends on if you're in the trades, maybe you're starting at 6:30, 7:30.
Well,
you know, it depends. I don't know.
These games are taking a long time.
Well, and here's the thing that
they are slow. And I can't blame people for not going to the game. Why? We just came out of a pandemic, folks.
Well, and it's September. Everyone's back in school. There's practices going on. There's stuff. Look, there's a bigger conversation that I want to have on this one.
We will have it.
And I think it's unfair to be like, only 29,000. It's the same thing when I see A's people post out like, oh my God, there's only 1,000 people, 2,000 people at an A's game. I always think that shaming fans for not attending is just like the dumbest thing. I find it to be so dumb.
I don't like when media members do it. And, I was one of those who shamed people look at Levi Stadium, man. Ain't nobody here. And I got why people didn't come to Levi Stadium. But when media members shame the fans.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous because if media members didn't get a free pass, they would not go to the game.
Yeah, and they got nothing to do the next day. That's the other thing. Your life revolves around it. Do any of you have normal lives? Do you have families? Do you have outside interests? Most normal people are running, going. Mm-hmm. People don't just go to 55 games a year like they used to. All right, it's just those times have gone. All right, they're out of here. And to your point on it's a pandemic, have you been around downtown San Francisco? I can get anywhere in 7 minutes these days. There's a little bit of traffic returning, but most of the offices here in downtown San Francisco, it's still dead.
By the way, real quick before we get to Gabe's World, Richard Sherman going to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, good for him.
He's now back at his playing weight in Seattle, his Seattle playing weight. 195 pounds, signs a deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. He's going to be a buck to help out Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. What do you think Sherb has left?
Not much. I want to know what we should say. What's my radio weight? If I was coming on, Joe, this is just playing weight. My talking weight. What do you think mine would be? Because I never thought of it this way.
Right now, your talking weight's probably about 190.
No. Your boy is not 190, dude.
You're about 190.
No, I am
about
not.
195.
No, I'll get on the scale for you, too. I am not 190.
Look on the heavy side.
Go lower.
What, 189?
No, not even. I'm in that 170s, dog. Come on. Give your boy a little love.
I mean, come on.
I'm like Deshaun Jackson over here.
On. Yeah,
all right?
I mean, yeah.
He's way more chiseled. Mine's all in my neck.
Yeah. My radio weight? The scale broke. The scale broke. All right, let's get to Gay's world.
I want to get into
we'll get into attendance in Gay's world as well.
Because I think, you know, we talk so much about the A's attendance.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the Giants attendance.
No doubt.
I want to defend both sides of the bet.
No doubt. Let's do that. We'll talk more Giants here. We'll get into the Warriors and Niners a little bit later in the show, plus your phone calls. 888-957-9570. Your text as well at the same number, 888-957-9570. Gabe's World coming up on the roast.
Trent Williams joins Damon Ratto and Kolsky today at 4:45.
He is such a powerful and super athletic left tackle.
Number one tackle ever is Trent.
That's the best tackle I faced this year.
Trent made it cool to be an offensive lineman.
Trent Williams today at 4:45. This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Lennox Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash-out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Lennox Financial at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind.
Licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender. Visit us at LennoxHomeLoans.com or call for additional cost information. Other restrictions apply. Rates subject to change.
Welcome to a new day that's kind of like an old day. Sure, you might still be at home, but your coffee is kicked in, your shirt is clean, and you brushed your teeth, even the back ones. It feels good to be a little bit in control. And to think, re-entry or not, here I come. This powerful thinking was brought to you by Arm & Hammer. More power to you.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your baby monitor research, if you're using too much diaper cream, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private. And unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Aw, how old are they? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly and confidently.
I tried learning Spanish before, but I couldn't stick with it until I found Babbel.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now we speak Spanish.
I can't wait to use our new language skills on our upcoming adventures.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Membership in the San Francisco Historical Society has many rewarding benefits. You'll receive 6 high-quality history publications every year. You'll discover little-known facts of the city on walking tours of historic districts. You'll be invited to member-only events, mingle with the city's movers and shakers, and fellow history enthusiasts. Help keep the history of our great city alive. Go to sfhistory.org. The San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today.
Got him. He throws a slider down and in. Posey to first, and that's the ball game. And that's his first big league save.
Now, Back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Vontae and Shasky.
Dwayne Kuiper on the call for NBC Sports Bay Area. Camilo Duval, he gets to save. He's going to be a weapon in October. That's Shasky's guy. I'm not even going to claim him. Shasky was all over him like they could close her maybe next year. Well, that shift has already happened, folks. It's already happened. Trial by fire. This guy's had a lot of fire in the last week and a half. A lot of drama with Camilo Duval, and he's passed all the tests. Yesterday in the ninth inning, just devastating slider. The slider's nasty. All right, throwing one-on-one is great, but the slider, I was just really locked in on that, and I was just like, oh, my gosh. That looks unhittable.
Yeah, I want to get into this attendance thing, B, because I'm getting text all morning. Let's quickly do Kapler's world, and then Gabe's world, and then let's get into the attendance thing, because people have opinions on this, and I actually have something interesting I want to share with you. Give me Kapler's world.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen.
Good call.
When it comes to Gabe Kapler, anything goes.
First of all, I think pressure is always a good thing. The brightest lights can sometimes bring out the best performance.
Now he's been ejected. Kapler's been ejected by Joe West.
Panda costumes and baby giraffes and all of the fans of San Francisco.
Gabe Kapler's 100% right. Kapler launches one. Fair or foul? It's gone! Gabe Kapler has won it!
It's time for Gabe's World.
All right, Gabe, what's going on at first base now that Brandon Belt's out? We saw Lamont Wade Jr. get the start, and he booted a ball yesterday.
I think there's going to be some growing pains and some bumps along the way for anybody that has to fill in for Brandon Belt on defense. Belt is an excellent defender, and Lamont, as athletic as he is, as good as his feet and his hands are, he just hasn't played over there that much. So he does have plenty of experience, so I have no worries about him getting back up to speed, but it has been a while, so some rustiness there. Obviously, the combination of Lamont and Flores got the job done for us, and Flores came in, had a couple of nice at-bats and a big hit for us. We'll do everything we can to get those guys ready to play high-quality defense and protect our pitchers.
So this is one of the things that I find very difficult. The team was built around platooning at certain times, but Belt had solidified himself as a force, and now they're going to have to platoon that spot. I mean, we make platooning to be the easiest thing in the world. It's much easier to just have one person who's a stud and play there. It's hard to play the matchups, and it's hard for guys to play out of position. When was the last time Lamont Wade Jr. played first base in a live game?
I know. It's been a while.
Right?
It's been a couple months.
We expect these guys to just move around and not have any growing pains. That's unrealistic.
No, it's very unrealistic. And with Darren Ruff on the mend as well, with an injury, not having him in this lineup and platooning with Lamont Wade Jr. to take pressure off him at first base defensively is a problem. But let's be honest, this has been one of the best hitters in all of baseball. All of baseball, not just with the Giants, but all of baseball. And he's on the cusp of hitting 30 home runs for the first time in his career. It's just an unfortunate injury to this team. And they've overcome a lot of injuries here throughout the regular season. The playoffs is a different beast.
Yeah.
You need to be fully loaded when you take it on the Cardinals or the Dodgers. Fully loaded when you take it on the Brewers.
Agreed.
Fully loaded when you take it on the Braves. It's a tough injury, and unless they make the World Series, the Giants, that is, we may not see Brandon Belt again this season.
That stinks. I mean, that just absolutely stinks for him. You want to get into this attendance thing?
Let's get to Gabe at Fairfield. Let's let Gabe set the tone.
All right.
When it comes to the attendance figures here at Oracle Park. Gabe, good morning. You're on the roast.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, so I've been to a couple of Giants games this year. They usually take about 3, sometimes 4 hours, man.
Easy.
And one way I'm looking at, maybe the league can look into is the warm-up periods in between innings, man. Ugh. There's a lot of players walking off the field, players in the dugout taking their time. And what if the league just put some type of timer or a clock for these guys to get off and on the field?
Well, here's the thing. they're running commercials. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I know walking on and off the field, there's no doubt about it. It's the zillion pitches in between innings while you're there and all that downtime because they're showing commercials. Right. Now, I've been saying this for a long time. Golf has this exclusive deal with Rolex where they do this thing called the playthrough. So they will run the ad in a smaller box or move the main action to a smaller box, and then you have a full ad going on while the game is still live, and I'm not changing channels.
Right.
Okay? When they go in a baseball game and they go to commercial, 9 times out of 10, I change the channel.
Right.
I don't know about you.
Oh, I'm not a commercial guy.
Yeah, I'm a chronic channel changer.
I gotta have action.
If there's action on the screen and you're going to a commercial and you tell me it's going to be over in X amount of minutes, I'll wait.
Stay.
Yes,
yeah.
I'll wait. I'll wait through it. So the commercials are part of it. I would bake it into the product. That's what I would do, number one, if I was running things. But there's a couple of things here. So I'll set this up because I want to be fair. Alex Pavlovich of NBC says the Giants, who have had the best record in baseball for 119 days and are closing in on an NL West title, announce a crowd of 28,122. Now, this is on September 28th, 2021.
It's a Tuesday.
September 28th, yes. And it is a Tuesday. And then Andy Baggerly, who's been covering the team for quite some time, says, yeah, I know, we're still in a pandemic, and I'll never criticize fans for not buying tickets, but it's still very hard to fathom. Last Saturday in Denver, 45,000 plus attended a game to see a non-contending Rockies team, but the caveat that he put underneath, it was a Saturday game for the Rockies, and it was Larry Walker's retirement ceremony,
and
which
also,
matters.
A lot of Giants fans love going to Denver. There's a lot of Giants fans out there, so you had a lot of orange and black in Denver, Colorado, not to mention Larry Walker Day, one of the best Rockies, probably the best Rocky all time outside of Todd Hilton.
So you said September, and I'm glad that you said this. I don't know if you know this, people that cover the game. Like, people have families and lives. And the hardest thing to do during the week is to schedule something. You know how hard it is for me to go see some of our family friends? Like, hey, let's get dinner. We've been talking about getting dinner with people for months upon years, and we can never line things up. You know why? Monday night, I got volleyball practice. Tuesday, I'm exhausted because you and I did the post game on Sunday, and then I'm doing volleyball practice late on Monday night. And so Tuesday's my day to like kind of rest. Wednesday, I'm back playing softball, so I'm doing that. Thursday, I got more volleyball practice. Friday, come on, man, it's Friday. I might have a game. I might, do whatever.
Right.
Like, going to the games for people that have a busy life, if you've got children, if you're taking them to and from school, and they're in after-school activities, whether it be dance, school, whatever, it's hard to prioritize. So for me in my life now, going to a game is a special thing. Like, I go to a Giants game once in a blue moon. I go to every 49er game, but that's me. I'm not going with the whole family.
And there's only 8 home games in a regular season.
Exactly.
There's not 81 home games.
Right?
There's 8.
So I think the September thing, that is a factor. There's no question about it. I also think, we also are in a pandemic. That's another factor.
That's the biggest thing. A lot of people have had to sell season tickets because they can't afford the season tickets.
Of course. Well, that's the financial aspect.
Yeah, the financial aspect is huge.
Yes.
Because even if you do go to the yard, all right, you want to buy a beer? Well, it's going to cost you $12 to $15. You want to buy some garlic fries and chicken tenders? That's going to cost you about $12. What about the crab sandwich? We all love the crab sandwich. That's going to hit you for $20. You know what I'm saying? So you're spending a lot of money for a family or for. Oh, not to mention the parking. I went to that Dodgers game on the Friday night last time they met at Oracle the first weekend of September, and I'm looking at the parking lots I usually go to. They're usually $30, $25, which is still high. They were $70 that day. I ended up finding a spot. $70 to park for 3 hours. Wow. I ended up finding this little lot on 3rd and Harrison, and I just paid the meter. The meter was $17 for the rest of the whole night. So, but I had to walk about 5 blocks, which is not bad. I like getting my cardio. Look, I've come around to this, and as a media member, I used to go to all the games, right?
Yeah.
I got to go to all the games. Even now, I'm just like, I don't have any sense of urgency. I could watch this game at home.
Yeah. Well, that's the other part. Is I think the viewing experience at home is so much better than it used to be.
Yeah, so much better. So you're at home. You can go right to sleep. It's cold. It's late. and it's a pandemic on a Tuesday night. Oh, and by the way, it's Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that's the other
It's
thing.
Diamondbacks.
Most people can't name one Diamondback.
Now, here's a counter. A lot of people are going to make a counter. There was 52,000 fans at Dodger Stadium yesterday.
Yeah, it's also beautiful. You know, at night, if I was just down in Southern California, Bonte, it's 81 degrees at night. You know what I mean? That's one thing.
Also, there's a lot more people living in the Los Angeles County.
That's part of it. And the other part of that is if you've gone down to those regions, there are significantly more opened up than we are down here. I know we think, oh, you can go anywhere you want with a mask and whatnot. There are more restrictions up in this way right now. And I also think that people are a little more apprehensive to go out up here. And this isn't making an excuse.
Right.
I saw 29,000 on a Tuesday against the Diamondbacks, and I didn't scoff at it at all.
No, not at all.
I was like, damn, that's not bad.
707.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad.
707 on the text line makes a great point. This is the most expensive city in the country. Beers are $15, and I have to work at 6 a.m. I've been to 7 weekend games, so
that's,
save that thought.
Yeah,
save that thought on the other side.
The time of the
save
game.
that thought on the other side. We got to take a quick time out here. The segment was presented by Golden State Lumber. As an essential service, their lumber yards remain open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Call 855-GSL-YARD or visit GoldenStateLumber.com. And don't forget to download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Peter King, we're going to play some sound from him. He was on DRK yesterday. That was one of the top moments on the game yesterday. Powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Trent Williams joins Damon Ratto and Kolsky today at 4:45.
He is such a powerful and super athletic left tackle.
Number one tackle ever is Trent.
That's the best tackle I faced this year.
Trent made it cool to be an offensive lineman.
Trent Williams today at 4:45. This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Whether it's the day you take on 6 new employees or the day your work takes you across the country, every day in business brings something new. So get the flexibility of our new mobile service designed for your small business. Introducing Comcast Business Mobile. This mobile service gives you the most reliable network with nationwide 5G included. And it's easy to save no matter what type of business you run. If you have a big team that needs lots of data, you can get unlimited for just $30 per line per month when you get 4 lines. And if your business is always changing, you can mix and match between unlimited and by the gig to save. Available now for Comcast Business Internet customers with no line activation fees or term contract required. See if you can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Requires Comcast Business Internet. Taxes, fees, and other charges extra. Most reliable based on Root Metrics US report. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Actual savings vary. Call for details.
Do you know Golden State Lumber and Building Materials makes it more efficient for professional builders and contractors? You can see some of the available building and design materials with their virtually click-through tours. You can visit virtual lumber yards in a number of Golden State locations. Some also include their hardware stores and window and door showrooms. Go to GoldenStateLumber.com, click Products, and drop down to Building Materials. For 3 generations, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Many Wall Streeters are predicting the inflation plane is ready to take off. At Owning, we still have a few refi seats left with 30-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs on them. If the experts are right and the inflation plane flies high, APRs this low may be a distant dream. Don't mess around. Call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com before the refi market flies completely away from you. Maybe the experts are wrong and rates don't go up any higher. But if they're right and the plane is flying with mortgage rates reaching the 4s, you'll kick yourself hard that you didn't grab a seat now. Don't be a dummy. Save the money.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call 833-2-OWNING for a 30-year fixed refi with a 2.875% rate and APR today. That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
Brad Paisley Tour 2021.
Just another American Saturday night.
Friday, October 1st, Shoreline Amphitheater. With special guests, Jimmy Allen and Cameron Marlowe. Country music superstar Brad Paisley Live. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Let's get a little mud on the tie.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Paid for by U.S. Medical Supply.
Call 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638. Again, 800-611-6638. That's 800-611-6638.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
With the help of Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond, I get everyone's morning started with a smile. It has a delicious and hearty combination of the Cheerios you love, whole grain oats, and sliced almonds for an extra crunchy crunch. That's how I set the rhythm for a great day. Look for Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond in your local grocery store.
Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Crawford breaks his bat. He's got a base hit. Solano scores. He came.
The pandemic hit. people have moved out of this region. They can't afford to live here, let alone afford to take your family to a baseball game, take your family to buy, hey, I want some peanuts, I want some Cracker Jacks. Well, that's going to cost you a pretty penny. I want the Gear Daily Square Sunday.
But Bonte, you're not even accounting for the other things. So this is something my boy Della texted me, and he's right. I bought and I'm not ripping. I use Ticketmaster, right? Because it's synced up with my Levi Stadium season ticket passes. And they have so many fees now attached to the tickets themselves. It is very, very expensive. I bought a $100 ticket and then another $100 ticket, so 2 seats. So I thought it would be like $220, and it ended up costing me $265 total when it was all said and done at the end of the transaction. There's all these fees and these service charges and stuff. And so what ended up being $100 ticket ended up really being close to $150 ticket.
Oh yeah, no
when
doubt.
It was all said and done.
That's a Ticketmaster Game Time StubHub special,
right? And so it used to be a very convenient, effective, efficient, inexpensive way to go to a game. And it's costing more and more and more because of all the service fees. The other part of this is that you just don't, with the tiered pricing, the Giants are controlling a lot of the market pricing, and they can raise or lower that tier. It feels like their algorithms, the computer algorithms, you never get those like $1 games, you used to back on StubHub.
And look,
part of why that Raider-Niner game on that Saturday night in exhibition was so crazy, there were literally $1 tickets on StubHub.
No doubt.
Back in the day. It's almost impossible to find those deals these days. That's the financial element. And then I believe, honestly, the start times, and we can get into that in a deeper...
Start times is possible. Here's the flip side, though. You got the Warrior games, right? And there's only 18,000, 19,000.
It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. They're packed. People are making those games. They're making those games, and there's a lot of 7:30 start times. 7 o'clock start times last year was a difference. It could have been moved it up 30 minutes.
But the game will be done
the game
by
will be
10
done.
o'clock.
Yeah, for the most part,
right?
Especially if it's not a TNT game.
And it's indoors, okay?
Right.
Which indoors matter. Like for example,
that does matter. That's
for
a good
my
point.
wife, for example, like going to a Giants game is a big ordeal because we're outdoors and you're in the elements, right?
Oh, yeah, and then
when you go to a
and
Warrior
they get
game,
cold.
It's nice and comfy. You can dress up a little if you'd like. If you don't, it's just the elements are different. And to your point, 18,000 is very different from 30.
But also these games are slow.
But that was what I was getting at.
Slow. The pace of the play is slow. No matter what the start time. Like some of these day games. Some of these day games that started last week against San Diego.
5 o'clock. The game started at 1.
The game started at 1:10. The game went over till 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I need to walk baby Ches. I need to give her dinner. I need to give her a bottle. We need to work a nap in. That was a marathon game that had me exhausted. And by the way, Thursday Night Football's next, and I'm sitting there like, damn, Thursday Night Football. All right, here we go. Let's buckle up. Texans, Panthers, let's go. Woohoo.
Well,
these games are way too long.
Well, that plays right into my start time thing. So they are way too long. I don't know how you shave it down. It's so hard. Everyone's taking 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches.
You're not.
It's really hard. But I would start the games earlier. It made sense 30 years ago, 25 years ago, to start games at 7 o'clock, right? It made sense. Like everybody's staying at the office till 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then they're going to go straight to the game afterward in their suit. Like, look at those early 2000s Oracle crowds, the old Pac Bell Park crowds. How many people are literally in their work suit sitting in the first 25 rows?
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore.
Well, because people aren't working in the offices.
That's my point.
And think of again, the pandemic. It all starts with the pandemic. A's fans have suffered from this year, too, because of their crowds in the East Bay.
But we rip them all the time, and that's why I don't think it's fair. I never liked hearing people rip the crowds in Oakland.
I don't either. But some of the crowd,
it's
a low hanging fruit. It's a low hanging fruit when you consider who that ownership group is, who's running the team, what's happening with that team. Look, you have the pandemic, which you think about Facebook, Google, all the people working there. They're now working from home.
Not one Facebook campus is open.
Not one.
And there's
one.
literally 40 campuses or whatever here in the Bay Area.
Folks at Google working from home, right?
Yep.
They're all working from home.
Salesforce right down the street, all working from home.
Working from home. Anna, she works for Unity, working from home.
My wife.
Hasn't been your wife working from home for Levi's. Nobody's working at the offices. So when you get around the house and you get off work, you're like, you know what? I just want to lounge around.
Exactly.
I want to chill. Do I really want to get in the car, get dressed, do my hair, brush it, do all that stuff to get ready for a baseball game? Then go down there. Oh, I got to pay for parking. Let me look for parking.
And then pray that my car doesn't get broken into.
Well, that's another thing. That's
right?
another thing.
No, but that's a real thing.
That's
you
another
talk to people in the peninsula and the North Bay, and they're like, I leave my car in the city for a second and talk to people in the city, and they're like, they're breaking it, they're smashing it, even if there's nothing in there.
I get paranoid when I park on the street at a sporting event. I have to be in a lot. Sometimes I'll pay the extra fees just to ensure that my car is going to be safe. And even then it's a risk because somebody will walk by the parking lot. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
what about this, B? This is the other element that I think, because you're talking about, no one's in the offices. I just also think that days of people staying in, even if we have hybrid work situations, which a lot of companies are going to try to come back to hybrid work, you're not staying in the office traditionally until 5 o'clock anymore.
No.
Now people are going to wrap up. They're going to try to beat traffic, or if there is any. 3 o'clock, I'm going to be home, blah, blah, blah. So I would say all games should start at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock to me.
I still think that's...
Because if you're taking your kids, how many people are going to take their kids on a weekday game? Even 6:40, which seems like an aggressively early start time. It's not, though. 6:40, you're staying till 10, 10:30.
You know what?
No one's doing that.
I would love a 5:30 start now.
I would, too.
I would love, selfishly, for the morning show, I would love a 5:30 start. But, even the 6 o'clock starts, 6:45, right? That game yesterday, what time did it end?
10:30. It was a 4-hour game.
I was done.
Against a team that's 55 games back.
Right, you're right. 53 games back in the NOS. 55, 53, they're all the same thing, right, at that point. But I was just like, you know what? I got to go to bed. I got to go to bed, dude. It sucks only getting 5 hours of sleep. And I sound like a complainer here in the wider, but seriously, sleep is important, man.
Is it the lack of star power, too, that plays into it? Because I think that does, at some level, play into it. When you had Barry Bonds, he's chasing records. You wanted to be in the building to see it. I was there. I was at 660. I was at 661. There was something about that.
This team, Shasky, just won their 103rd game.
Yeah, but they don't have
tie their record for the best record. I get it. But Posey, household name around here.
I know, but he
Crawford,
doesn't. Household name is different from, if I go to the stadium today, I'm going to see something I'll never see. There's a novelty of Steph Curry when you talk to people.
That's a good point.
I got to go see Steph. I got to see him before he leaves. There was a novelty about Barry Bonds. I get what you're saying about Buster, but there's
that's true. You don't have the star.
And I'm not taking away. He's great. I love Buster.
And that's why Shohei Ohtani coming out and saying, I need to win, we need to move. This is why Larry Bear has tried to go after. He's tried to go after Bryce Harper. Tried to go after Giancarlo Stanton. He tried to go after Shohei Ohtani. This is why Larry Bear loves stars. This is why you need a star in baseball. If you get a Shohei Ohtani, now you're getting 35,000 last night instead of 28,000. Now you're getting 38,000 instead of 28,000 with the Shohei Ohtani, and you could be playing the AAA team from the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. You get a star. And now you're cooking with hot grease.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I would trade Joey Bart, Ramos, pretty much anything but Luciano to go get Ohtani.
Oh, Joey Bart, he got it a heartbeat.
No, I would love to have Ohtani. I mean, that would be, forget the winning on the field. In terms of me caring about seeing something super unique and crazy, and obviously someone who I think would be an absolute superstar. Bonte, if you got Ohtani from a business standpoint, how many jerseys you selling? Just jerseys.
Oh, the ballpark is filled with jerseys.
Right?
Ballpark, you would have three. You'd have the orange one, you'd have the creamsicle one, you'd have the City Connect jersey,
I would.
And you'd have the gray one.
He'd be humongous. And then just for the Asian American population around this area, we haven't even begun to try to tap in to bringing an Asian American or an Asian superstar into the Bay Area. This is one of the largest populations in the entire world of Asian Americans, at least in the country, excuse me. And yet we have no Asian superstar. He would be humongous in these parts. And it's always hurt me that we missed out on Ichiro. Right. We missed out on Yao Ming.
Right.
Who's the biggest Asian superstar that we've had? Is it Shinjo?
Yeah. Gio, she should jump.
And
who
God
recorded
bless
the
you,
last
Joe.
out? Who recorded the last out of the World
Yeah,
Series?
and it would have been Andres Galarraga if he didn't have cancer.
I know.
It was really sad that happened.
It was sad.
It's just I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself,
we can't be Arch wristbands.
Wouldn't it be awesome to have him? Like, it really would. I would love to have him on this team. On top of him being an unbelievable baseball player and a guy who could help the rotation.
Yeah, no doubt.
A guy who could definitely help be a DH and play in the outfield. God, he'd be huge.
Well, Covey Cove would be packed every single night. Like Barry Bonds was in a box with Shohei Ohtani.
Did you ever see Hideo Nomo?
Of course. Did I ever see
Like,
Hideo
you
Nomo?
went to a game with him?
Oh, no. I never seen a game in person. On TV, I remember the TV game. There was one game at Candlestick Park. His rookie season.
That's the one I went to with
Candlestick
my dad.
Park on ABC. It was an ABC national game. Remember they used to do Monday Night Baseball? ABC had the game on, and he froze Barry Bonds with the pitch. May have been on a Saturday night. May have been a Saturday. I don't quite remember. But Nomo dealt. Yeah. And he had a no-hitter going for a while.
Yeah, so in that game, I went to that game with my dad. I believe it was a weekday game.
Maybe the Monday then.
I believe, off the top of my head. But he would go back, and if you remember Hideo Nomo's pitching style, I'm doing this on YouTube and Twitch, he'd pause at the top with the hands up and over the head. All the stadium, all you saw was flashes. This is back in the old camera days. Flashes everywhere. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. And there was at least 50,000 at that game.
It was unbelievable. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in AC1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. This is The Morning Roast. Joe Shasky the Butcher, Bonte Hill. We got Langford and Curly in the back here on The Morning Roast. And today's National Coffee Day, so shout out to Timers.
Nice.
National Coffee Day here in America, I guess.
I'm gonna head over there after the show.
Yeah, you gonna get me something?
I'm gonna go. I'm trying to get myself
want.
a couple of refill bags.
I don't want the cheesecake today.
No cheesecake?
I want the cheddar pesto roll.
I got you.
I want the pesto roll.
I'm going to get another bag of the merchant blend. I'm going to have them grind it there. My wife likes the Peru blend, so I'm probably going to get the Peru.
Blend's good.
It is. I like the merchant, though.
I like that Peru.
It's
I like
so
that Peru
smooth.
blend.
I know. You like that.
I like that
the
international, man. I like that international. Timeless Coffee. Shout out to you guys for being an official sponsor of the Morning Roast. RJ, Paula. International. Oh, yeah, be legit. Oh, I feel it too. Look at that. That sounded bad right there. That sounded real bad. We're talking about international. Oh, my gosh. Alex Pavlovich sent out a tweet yesterday talking about the attendance, discussing the attendance, 28,112, and saying, it's a Tuesday night. Best team in baseball on the verge of clinching a division. Only 28,112.
Yeah. Can you imagine the 1992 media guy looking down at 29,000 people at a Tuesday Giants game?
That was like a great Saturday crowd at Candlestick Park.
You want to talk about cheap tickets? Back at the end of Candlestick, all right? They had this thing called remember when they had the Giants reward card?
Oh, yeah.
So they had this card, and you'd stick the card into this kiosk. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? Curly and Langford.
They're too young.
Oh, my God. So they had dollar bleacher seats. Me, my boy G Money, Greg Morris, God rest his soul, Chris Morris, the whole crew, Kevin Murphy. We would hop on the 29 bus and we'd head out to Candlestick, and you'd have your little card and your little like a laminated card. You'd stick the card in, and then all of a sudden like a JT Snow thing would pop and be like, "Thank you. You've been to 14 Giants games this year." You remember that? And then you'd go to another kiosk.
I never had the card. I would just go in line and say I'm 13 years old when I was 16 because I had no facial hair.
To run the bases?
No, to get the $1 bleacher seats.
Oh, yeah. Well, we lied all the time about our age. and then you'd have like X amount of points, and then given however many games you were attending that particular year, if you're at like your 15th game, you'd go to a separate kiosk and they give you like, a Geico hat or whatever the sponsor was at the time. Here's a Safeway towel. Like those were the gimmicks that they used to do back in the day. Now they have a lot of heritage nights. They do a good job with that. There was a Star Wars night. I believe there's a Lord of the Rings night. Is it tonight? Or one of these nights is like a Lord of the Rings night?
There was a Harry Potter night earlier this season.
Maybe that's what it was. So
that Nomo game, by the way, was a Saturday night.
Was it Saturday?
3-0. He threw a one-hitter.
How many people were there?
One hitter. There was
60,000.
43,167.
It felt like 60.
Yeah, no, that was a big crowd.
I mean, that's a big crowd. That would be a sellout in today's stadium at AT&T.
He struck out Bonds twice.
Wow.
That game, Hideo Nomo.
Wow.
9 innings, complete game.
Was Todd Hollingsworth in center field for the Dodgers?
1 hit, 11 strikeouts, 3 walks he gave up. Todd Hollingsworth was in center.
I have a terrible memory.
Chad Fonville, second base.
I have a terrible memory.
Jose Offerman, shortstop.
I have a terrible memory.
Do you know how you spell Offerman? 47 E's.
Wow.
When you're keeping book in baseball and E is an error.
Yeah. That's a good one. I got you. Raul Mondesi, Mike Piazza, Eric Karros. Eric Karros. Mondesi was a baller. Dave Hansen, Roberto Kelly. Remember that guy? Roberto Kelly played left field. That was August 5th,
for the Giants.
1995 when Nomo dazzled. And you know how long that game was?
2
hours and 28 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
and the start time was 8:07 p.m. Wow. It's a late game on a Saturday.
Wow, that's crazy. You know, one of the things that I don't like when the media looks down on the fans for coming to games, not coming to games, how they cheer, booing, things like that. Like, when you pay your hard-earned money to go to the games, the last thing that people want as fans is to be talked down to by the media. I don't understand that move. I get it. It's a low-hanging fruit move.
Whoa.
Like when Levi Stadium, when it's sunny. You're going to see it this week. It's 1 o'clock start. It's going to be sunny, and you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to get that screenshot at the start of the third quarter, and I'm going to tell everyone, okay, you people in the air-conditioned press box, why don't you go across the field and you sit with no hat on, because a lot of people don't wear hats, in that particular section with the sun staring you straight in the face, and you had no idea it was going to be that blistering hot. I went to a December game.
Well, I think though,
and
you know what?
Hot.
But you know what? Some of these media members do realize that the stadium wasn't built properly because of that.
But that's not the fans' fault.
It's not. I don't think they look down. Some people don't look down at the fans. They say, boy, Jet York built the stadium, and look at this is how the fans are responding, sitting in that sun. Because I've sat in that sun at the 50-yard line. I sweated bullet. They sell waters for $1 over there, maybe $2 now, maybe $2. But they sell water bottles at a football game.
If you're a season ticket holder, or you buy from a season ticket holder, you get all you can eat, all you can drink outside of alcohol because of your package.
Yep.
That's a pretty cool deal.
It is a
so
cool
you
deal.
can get as many waters as you want. I took my grandfather to a Bears game. It was 55 degrees at start time, cold as hell, right?
Yep.
The sun was in our face the whole day. I wore sunglasses and got a sunburn.
Yep.
It was like I was up in the mountains.
It's not cool. It's not cool at all. Let's go to Hong real quick in Davis. Hong, what's happening? You're on the morning roast.
Hey, good morning. Loving the show.
Thank you.
I heard the name Ohtani. I had to call in, man. Just imagine the modern-day Babe Ruth, the ultimate unicorn, and an Asian American, by the way, in a Giants uniform. This is a no-brainer for Ohtani and their team. And we have 103 wins this year. Who knows how many we'll get next year?
Exactly.
Magic number 4. With any luck, we'll clinch by Friday or Saturday. You know I'm going to be there.
Nice.
And let's go.
How many games you been to this year, out of curiosity?
I've been to about 5.
See, that's a reasonable amount. And you're a good fan. Like, I mean, not that people that stay home aren't, but like my dad's a great example. My dad's in his 60s. He's been to a couple games this year. He's not going to go to 20 games. That's just not who he is.
I'm not going to 20 games.
He sits in his chair. He wants to relax. He doesn't want to deal with crowds. He doesn't want to do any of that stuff.
I'm kind of the same way.
He's a diehard.
Look, I'm kind of the same way. And that's why I was so skeptical of getting season tickets with the Niners, because if I'm not working, I'd rather just watch it on my couch. However, you get jaded by seeing the entire field, and you want to get a clear picture.
I'm a sucker for the atmosphere.
I like to see, but in football, you got to see what's happening, because TV doesn't show the all-22 view. You know what I'm saying? So that's why football and basketball games are so much fun to go to. But Shohei Ohtani is probably going to be the AL MVP, although I think
it could be Vlad.
It should be Vlad Jr. It should be Vlad Jr.
I mean, they're going to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, he should be Vlad Jr. But Shohei Ohtani's 27 years old. Of course, he's a DH, and he's a baller at the plate. And he goes, look,
pitcher.
Pitcher on the mound. I like the fans. This is what Shohei Ohtani told the LA Times. I like the fans. I like the atmosphere of the organization. But my feelings of wanting to win are stronger. I don't think we can win with the way things are. So Dylan Hernandez, who's a columnist with the LA Times,
does a great job.
Yeah, he confirms the former AL Rookie of the Year wants out of Anaheim, citing his recent quotes in Number, a popular Japanese sports magazine, criticizing the Angels for steady pat at the trade deadline while admitting it's been hard to stay motivated amid the team's struggles. The Angels will like nothing more than to sign Ohtani to a long-term deal. He's under contract through 2023, but from the sound of it, the interest may not be mutual.
I mean, you bring in Ohtani and you're the Giants. You eradicate whatever issues you have when it comes to not having a superstar. You eradicate that whole like must-see. You want to talk about novelty, must-see acts? Like, boom, right there. And then you have this giant Asian American fan base that is dying to see someone who looks like them play on the team. Like this is the reality of it. Like there's no doubt about it. That's the one thing I have to give the Dodgers credit for over the years. They have always had a very good Latin American fan base, and they've really tried to bring players in that look like their fans in terms of people that they can look up to, and young kids could say like, look at this guy. He looks like me. You brought up Raul Mondesi. Like he's the guy I think of like when I think of Dodgers. Like boom, he's one of those dudes. Fernando Valenzuela, what he did to the Dodgers in the 80s. Go to Mexico. You go to Mexico, Dodger hats are everywhere. They're all over the place. So, like the Ohtani thing, my wife's Filipino, all right? Do you know how awesome it would be for her and her family if you brought in someone like Ohtani, an Asian player in San Francisco?
Period.
This Asian American community would just wrap its arms around, and obviously the white community and the black and the Latin communities would as well. It would be a huge sell.
I remember when I was in at George Washington before we break here, homeroom. My buddy Jonathan Wong played on the baseball team. This guy was a huge Mariners fan.
Okay,
why? Because they signed Ichiro, and he knew they were coming. And, like, he loved Griffey. He loved A-Rod. But when they signed Ichiro, he was like, yeah, I'm all in. Like, you got to get somebody like that. And then you don't think Larry Bear is looking at the season saying, damn, 28,000? I got 103 wins? Well, what if I just bring some star power here? What if I brought a Bryce Harper? What if I brought a Shohei Ohtani? And there's something about Bryce Harper I want to bring up that Coles brought up earlier this summer that I think, it'll make you wonder. This is right up your alley, Shasky. We'll get into that right here on the Morning Roast. It's Joe Shasky the Butcher. It's Bonte Hill, and that's what's coming up on the game. Brought to you by Exergen Thermometers. Accuracy matters. Fever is a leading sign of COVID, so make sure you can have an accurate thermometer. The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, backed by science. It's the accurate thermometer you need and can trust. Be vigilant and learn more at Exergen.com.
Trent Williams joins Damon Ratto and Kolsky today at 4:45.
He is such a powerful and super athletic left tackle.
Number one tackle ever is Trent.
That's the best tackle I faced this year.
Trent made it cool to be an offensive lineman.
Trent Williams, today at 4:45. This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Last Podcast on the Left brings the Mamma Mia! Here We Go Again tour to Paramount Theater this Friday, October 1st, with hosts Ben Kissel, Marcus Parks, and Henry Zabrowski. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Why do we find popping bubble wrap so satisfying? Why do we say boop when we touch somebody's nose? Boop? Why do we turn anything and everything into drums?
Honey, I need those pots to start dinner.
Why do we sing in the shower?
I'm taking a shower.
And outside the shower.
This conference call is boring.
Rick, you are not on mute.
Why? For the same reason we play scratchers from the California Lottery. Because a little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
When you run a business, setbacks change everything. And online, they happen fast. With your Comcast Business Internet, you can stay ahead. And now you can add Comcast Business Security Edge to make your network more secure. It helps keep your network safe with scans every 10 minutes. And unlike some cybersecurity options, this helps protect every device that's connected. Because when your information, your people, and your company have Security Edge, you can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a fast and reliable internet and voice solution for $64.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with qualifying service. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second service and 1 voice line. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Security Edge not included. Prepaid card offer ends 12/21/21.
If you thought you missed the lowest mortgage rates in history, you're in luck because they're back. Mortgage rates are near historic lows again. So if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital Funding is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Incredible! Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 15-year fixed rate is 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Now, second chances don't come often, and you may never see these rates again. So refinance it and forget it. That's a 15-year fixed at 1.75%. Yes, 1.75% with a 1.94 APR. Call the experts at Network Capital now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Not licensed in all states. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the Financing Law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available at rate lock. Discount points may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
It's time for Jerry Rice Unplugged. Powered by Golden State.
If I said, forget family and friends, we're going just celebrities, they can be a living or past, how do you round out a foursome for Jerry Rice? Who's in this group?
Oh, okay, this would be my first one. Probably be Jack Nicklaus, Anna Palmer, Michael Jordan, myself. The second one probably be Steph Curry. I'm thinking maybe LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and you.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Jerry Rice Unplugged is presented by Golden State Lumber and Building Materials, helping builders and contractors succeed since 1954. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. Golden State, when you succeed, we succeed.
Hey, it's Boomer Esiason. Want to look like $1 million but only spend a handful of bucks? Upgrade to Dollar Shave Club with the Ultimate Shave Starter Set for only $5. Get a 6-blade razor, prep scrub, shave butter, and post-shave dew for a noticeably smooth shave. Plus free shipping. After that, razors ship at regular price. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/boomer. That's dollarshaveclub.com/boomer. Dollar Shave Club. It's what dreams are shaved of. Welcome to the club.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life."
I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub.
It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors, and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Greatest invention ever.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
System of a Down. Coming to Oakland Arena October 18th. And 95.7 The Game wants you to be there. Visit the contest page on 957thegame.com to enter now.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte.
From Vegas, MGM. Giants, the over-under for wins, 75.5. I did take the over before the season, but I thought
like 80.
79.
Yeah, like
can
80
you get the
was a high
500?
watermark.
Yeah, can you get the 500? 75. They were picked to win the same amount of games as the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Wow. I want to ask you a question in 10 minutes about the 103 wins, but you teased something before we went to the break on Bryce Harper. I would love to hear what that is, because now I'm intrigued.
Well, Coles was talking earlier this summer. I think you were on vacation.
Oh.
And I was watching the Phillies lose yesterday to the Braves. And they're basically about to be knocked out of the playoff contention.
I love it.
And Bryce Harper is having a phenomenal season.
He is.
And nobody would know about it. Nobody would know about it. The guy's had an unbelievable year. One of his best seasons in baseball when you look at the home runs, 34 home runs, 82 RBI, 99 runs. He's batting over 300. He's batting 311.
The days of 130 RBIs are over.
Because he walks a lot, too.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, nobody else hits for contact anymore, it's just those days are over.
Yeah, those days are over. But he's got 34 home runs. Coles was saying, look, he's got a 13-year contract. A 13-year contract with the Philadelphia Phillies. What if the Phillies are like, you know what? We're not winning with you, and we're paying you all this cash. We're giving you $27.5 million per year. We want to trade you. Would you be open to a trade? And if you're the Giants, would you take on that contract? He's 28 years old right now.
God, he's only 28.
28 years old.
Wow, he's only 28.
28 years old.
And you
right
got
now.
how many years left?
So he turns 29 October 16th.
Wow.
October 16th, he'll be 29 years old. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 10 years left on his deal.
Just 10.
Just 10 years. Would you take on that contract? Because Coles was saying, what if the Phillies want to dump him? And you're Larry Bear looking for that star.
Man.
Is Bryce Harper the type of guy that'll age well? What do you think, Lafer? Get in on this, because
man, this is a tough one. Like, very rarely do I sit on the fence. I feel like Humpty. Like right now, I really do.
I thought, you know what I thought you were going to say? Very rarely do you agree with Kosovar, or you bring something good up.
You mean the Mac Jones is number one fan?
Where's his rookie rankings now?
All right, so a little running and a little throwing.
We love you, Jim Kosovar.
I do love that guy.
He's Uncle Coles. He's Uncle Coles on a morning roast. I just because we're talking about Ohtani, and we're talking about the attendance, and we're talking about this team that won 103 games. But is there somebody that you just gravitate to on this baseball team? Like Posey, if you had to go use the restroom during the Posey at bat, you're probably going to use the restroom. Because you've seen everything that he's done, right? Are you seeing anything special from him? Does Chris Bryant have that Q rating with this fan base yet?
Not to that level. He's a very good player, but he's like a baseball player's
right.
A baseball fan's kind of a baseball player.
He's not going to get Anna to go to the game, right? Anna's like, Chris who?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Well, like, that's a great example. Because, like, my mother-in-law texts me, and she's like, don't forget about Travis Ishikawa and Shinjo and everybody who I think we've forgotten in real time. Shinjo was a phenomenon. Right. He was a scrub, but he was a phenomenon. But the Ohtani thing, I watched the home run derby with my mother-in-law and my wife, and they were blown away with Ohtani. They were like, wow, this guy is incredible. And then Trey Mancini came up, and they were like, yeah, go back to the other guy.
Yeah, go back to the other guy.
That's not a knock on Trey Mancini.
Can we come back to this when Ohtani's back up at the plate?
Exactly. And so, like, there's just something very, very unique. In a league filled with dudes that have great bodies and are physical freaks, he looks like a football player out there. He's 6'4", 2 something. And
he's got speed.
Well, and power
Underrated
and
speed.
Effortlessness. And he's got a great little smile. On Bryce Harper, doesn't it feel like the ship sailed a little on that in terms of, like, just the interest level?
Well, because of what he said about the Giants.
No, more like, man, he's locked into a 10-year deal. The Giants
13. He's got 10 left.
That's what I'm saying. 10 years left. Like, I don't know, man. I mean,
look,
I'm not sure what to make of that.
This is a good point from the 415. The homie Big Mike. The homie Big Mike out there, the 415.
Yeah.
Same thing would happen when Lynn Sedity was over in Oakland. Jeremy Lin. How many Warrior fans wanted Jeremy Lin called up last year? How many Warrior fans or Bay Area fans loved Jeremy Lin? Lynn Sedity was literally insane.
Yeah, all 2 weeks of it.
All 2 weeks. But still, to this day, those 2 weeks still has kept Jeremy Lin in the news in terms of basketball. People, wherever he goes, he was in Toronto for that championship team.
Yeah, but does it help you win?
Exactly. But it's still bringing fans to the yard. People know who he is.
Yeah, but if you're going to make a move, if you're going to make a move, like, to me, you got to be financially prudent. That's number one. And that's where the Bryce thing, it's very steep for me. And then also, as great as Bryce is and as popular as he can be, he ain't Ohtani. Ohtani is superseding sports. I mean, he is a pop culture icon. Bryce ain't that dude. He's a baseball star, but there's a big difference between the two. And when you're fighting for the 49ers, like, great example, Giants swept the Rockies over the weekend. Monday morning, did any of your friends bring up anything about the Giants?
No.
It was like, oh my God, Shanahan, Niners.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, what, Wiggins vaccination? Like, everything else that had nothing to do with playoffs.
And you think Larry Barrett likes that?
Superseding the team going to the playoffs.
Hey, you know Larry Barrett doesn't like that.
Well, I wouldn't either if I was running that business.
Don't forget to download the Odyssey app at Favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Peter King, we're going to play some sound from him. He was out with DRK yesterday. yesterday. That was one of the best moments on the game, powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. The reason why we're bringing up Bryce Harper, Shohei Ohtani, and stars with the Giants, there's, according to media, Alex Pavlovich and Andrew Bagley of The Athletic, and, of course, Paz was with NBC Sports Bay Area, they cited the attendance numbers yesterday. The attendance numbers was 28,112. 28,112.
I thought it was a good again, maybe I'm jaded. I thought it was a good crowd for a Tuesday.
Here's the deal. You have the team with the best record in baseball. Just tied the all-time record with 103 wins while the Giants were in San Francisco. 103 wins, right? And
I hear you.
You go down to Southern California, and you see the Padres and Dodgers. And there's 52,000 at Dodger Stadium.
Well, you have two teams from the same region, right? That's number one. They're only 70 miles apart.
52,000 is 52,000.
No, I know, but
I don't care.
Have you ever met a Diamondbacks fan?
No.
I've got family.
I haven't even met a Padres fan.
Oh, I've got a couple of Padres
I
buddies.
have not met one Padre fan.
Yeah. My buddy Chris Durr, he's a huge Padre fan.
I've never met a Padre fan.
Well, plus, my buddy moved to San Diego, so I know some people down there.
I've never met a Padre fan.
But like the Diamondbacks, like that's a retirement area for a lot of people, and a lot of people stay there after college or whatnot, or they move there for whatever tax purposes, political reasons, whatever. But most of the time, they're like, oh, I was a Cubs fan. I'm going to continue to be a Cubs fan. Why would I root for the Diamondbacks? Like my brother-in-law who's down that way, he's a big-time Phillies fan, and he's lived in Arizona his whole life. Never been an Arizona Diamondbacks fan. Doesn't like the Cardinals either.
Right.
He roots for all Philadelphia teams.
Right.
And a lot of his buddies, whatever town their family was from, that's what they root for.
By the way, I was wrong with the attendance, 28,122, not 112. Want to get that right here before somebody comes down my road. There was 10 more people than I cited. Don't want to shortchange the 10 people.
No, you want to make sure you're factually correct.
Yeah.
I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
So, look, the baseball thing in attendance, I'll be very interested to see what baseball's attendance numbers across the board are.
They've got to be low.
Well, of course they're low. But then I want to contrast that with what the NFL's numbers are going to be this year.
The NFL's number, but it's, again, you get 8 home games.
No, I know. It's different.
You don't get 81 home games.
I'm talking about percentage of carryover. So, like, what's the drop-off from previous years?
Pre-pandemic to post-pandemic?
Exactly. And see if those percentages are anywhere close to each other.
Yeah.
Both are outdoor sports. And we know that baseball, at least for the Giants, I believe, June 20th-ish this year was full capacity crowds. I think everything before that was at least at
limited
some
capacity,
vaccinated sections, some spacing, social distancing. So the numbers are going to be skewed.
I'm looking at the Brewers, right, in 2019.
Yeah.
They had 2.9 million fans.
The Brewers.
Okay. 2.9 million.
2 hours away from Chicago.
Yep. This year, right now, going into the last 5 games of the season, they're 1.8 million. But I'm not sure what the pandemic was. It full capacity at the start of the season?
What are the Giants looking at right now?
Let's see. Let's pull up the Giants right now.
Because that would be interesting for me. And I keep thinking, like, I know from my own sensibilities, once the state started opening up, like, I wanted to travel and go on vacation. How many people felt locked down and didn't go anywhere? And they're like, I'm going to take advantage of this in July, August, and September.
So 2019, Giants finished 77-85, Bochy's last season.
Yeah.
2019, 2.7 million walked through the gates at Oracle Park.
Wow. They got 2.7 in 2019.
2.7 in 2019, right? And that was the first time they dipped below 3 million since 2009. 2009, they had 2.8 million.
Was 2019 the year that they had the Barry Bonds retirement thing, too?
I thought that was 2018.
Okay.
Maybe 2018.
Okay. They were in the middle of 3 straight losing seasons at that point, too.
And now you get... Right now, you have 1.5 million going through the gates at Oracle Park. But again, full capacity wasn't until when? June 15th, June 20th?
So what they're at what right now?
1.5.
1.5. Well, you figure the state of California has been under more lockdown than Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, our regulations out here are totally different.
Look at the Dodgers. But look at the Dodgers right now.
What are they doing?
2.5 million. Walk through the gates of Dodgers.
Well, they are World Series champs.
They are World Series champs.
I think that matters. You have a lot of pomp and circumstance coming out of those World Series runs.
And the
Dodgers,
Dodgers,
they have superstars.
And the Dodgers, well, that's where we're getting to here. Dodgers have been at $3 million for basically the last 15 years. I mean, since the year 2000, when they had 2.8 million, they've had one season where they were under 3 million, and that was 2011 when they finished with 2.9 million.
Can we agree? Approximately 30,000 on a weekday in the middle of school time is a really good number.
I think it's a good number in baseball
today.
today.
You are right.
In baseball today, it's a very good number.
So that's where I just again, am I jaded? Am I biased? I don't think I am. Like,
here's the deal.
I think it's a great number.
This is my issue with the tweet. And Pavs reports on the Giants, does a great job with the Giants. Does a great job. Not knocking Pavs at all. But this is my issue with looking at any attendance post-pandemic. I think we got to wait a couple years for some of these sports.
I agree.
Like baseball, let's wait a couple years.
I agree.
People are still skeptical. Not only financially, they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have people walking in downtown offices, and that was the allure of the ballpark. Hey, I could go from my office straight down to the yard in my suit and tie. But also, people are still petrified of this COVID-19 disease. People are still like, you know, do I have to wear my mask? Is my mask going to work? Do I really want to be around people right now with COVID-19? Like, that is still, whether you believe it or not, that is still a big issue for a lot of people.
No, it absolutely is. So I went to the Niner game Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think the attendance was? I thought it was almost capacity, if not
packed.
more, right?
It was
packed. Right? I thought so too. Fourth quarter, that place was rocking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we went to go leave, I don't know, maybe 45% of the people leaving the stadium were wearing their masks as you get crunched in, right? So you get really packed. I'd say 35% to 45% of people wearing their masks as they're leaving, right? And that's for whatever personal reason that they're believing. If that percentage of people is wearing the mask as they're coming out, imagine how many other people are saying to themselves, I don't even want to put myself in that position. Forget football, like just in general, right? So,
not to mention some people prefer to watch football at home anyway.
Well, there's no question about that. That's and baseball as well. And football games tend to be shorter than baseball games, which is kind of crazy. So
I'm looking at the Bay Area attendance as a whole, right? It said the Giants have 1.5 million right now.
I think that's a pretty good number given everything that's going on.
The A's number, and I don't want anybody to laugh at this, but I think it's a good number for A's fans considering what they've been through. Barely over 700,000. But considering what Dave Cavill has done, what John Fisher has done,
I mean,
all the Las Vegas recruiting, I don't blame A's fan for not going to the game.
I don't do the fan shame thing. People choose to do with their money what they choose to do.
But I don't blame
that
A's
ownership
fan.
has alienated their fan base and kicked them in the you-know-what
and
for
it's
too
not,
long.
It's not fair to the players, too. They've been in a pennant race, and I guess they were officially eliminated yesterday. They can't beat the Mariners. But 700,000. Dave Cavill, John Fisher, wake up.
Well,
you lost your fan base.
Look, B, this is, I think, a bigger conversation, and today's not the day to have it, because I do want to get into the 103 wins for the San Francisco Giants. I had been pontificating that I just don't think, and this isn't not me trying to kick the A's out of the Bay Area, I just don't think there's enough market share and desire for two teams in any sport in this region anymore. When you could sit home, it's like we have a lot of people at this station that root for other teams, right? You could watch every single game of whatever team you want in any market now. It's not 1998 where I only can watch the Giants and the A's on television. That's one element. The other element, how many people do you know who are diehard Giants or A's fans that have been priced out of this region that are just gone? Okay?
Gone. Many friends.
Absolutely.
Don't see them anymore.
Right? Absolutely. So this has always been a very transient space.
So not only that, transportation. Let's go to transportation.
It's a nightmare.
When you try to figure out gas prices are through the roof right now.
100%.
It takes,
parking.
Dude, it takes $80 to fill up my car with the premium gas now.
I agree.
Gas, and this is just over the last 5 months.
Yep.
You know, you look at, say you're paying $3.50 per gallon. Okay, maybe it's $55 for my tank to get filled up. It's $80 now to get filled up, and I'm filling up damn near every single week.
Yeah.
That's that's $320 just spent on gas alone. Not to mention the parking, not to mention the food, not to mention the beers, not to mention everything so you're not going to go to the game every single night.
No, there's only so much money to be spent on any team. It doesn't matter what it is. And here's the problem that I think that baseball has. If the numbers were reversed, I would say the exact same thing about the Giants in terms of I just don't think two-team markets work in this area anymore. It's a bygone era. Like that.
See,
and I'm not trying to knock.
sure I agree with that.
I mean, Bonte, I just don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough locals to support both squads these days.
I'm not sure about that because Raiders, when the Raiders were good, they were selling out. When they were good, they were selling out. The Giants, when they're good, they're selling out. Now I get they're good and they're not selling out. Now, I don't believe it. I do believe this is a two-market region. I do believe that.
Well, why is
really
that the only right now the only sport is baseball, and combined they have less than the Dodgers.
Well, I just
and the region has less people than LA.
Well, look at what the A's have done. What the A's front office and their ownership group has done to this team. Trading away players left and right. You can't get accustomed to a player because they're gone 3 years later. That's what A's fans always say. Well, I want to buy this guy's jersey, but I know he's going to be gone in 2 years. That's a problem, too. So where fans are like, you know what? I'm not going to support that product when you don't put everything you have into that product. And there's low loyalty there. The Raiders, the same thing happened with the Raiders. This market was humming. Humming.
Football is an outlier. Football's an outlier. In terms of baseball, when the A's were humming, the Giants were not. They were barely financially viable, hence why they tried to move 4 different times. So the tables have completely flipped, and it's the other way around. I would have made the exact same argument for the Giants in 1977 when they tried to move to Toronto, in 1988 when they tried to move to Santa Clara, and in 1992 when they tried to move to St. Petersburg.
Think about the early 2000s, though.
Yeah, but this is not that era. That was the first dot-com boom.
I get it.
And technology has changed so much.
I get it. But the A's haven't done themselves any favors. By the way, Richard Sherman signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On Twitter, Richard Sherman said it's an opportunity I couldn't pass up. I couldn't pass up this opportunity. Yeah. Said there was great interest from the 49ers, and he spoke of his great relationship with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Before we get out to Tyler in Pittsburgh, would you have wanted to re-sign Richard Sherman?
I'm out on him.
Even with the cornerback situation right now?
Yeah, he's not good anymore. Like, good luck in Tampa Bay. I wish him well, and I hope it works out for him. I'm done with Sherman. Like, how is Sherman going to slow down Devontae Adams the other day? Like, he's just not. I'm out on him. We got Disney with Dad in 10 minutes, so I definitely want to get some of these calls in, and I want to ask you about the 103-win Giants.
Tyler, Pittsburgh, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Full disclosure, I'm a Dodgers fan.
Okay.
I know it's not popular up here, but this whole Ohtani to the Giants thing, man, I'm all for it. When the Dodgers and Giants are good, baseball's better. That's the best rivalry, arguably, in sports. And when they're both good, baseball's better. And I think attendance, maybe people are saving their money to go to baseball in October.
That might be it.
As opposed to July, take your family in October to a playoff game. And then, so you can't really harp on that. But also, man, I am pleasantly surprised at how good the Giants are this year. I figured they'd be better than they have been the last couple of years. But 103 wins, man, and they, the only legit, quote, superstar they've got is Chris Bryant. Man, the future's bright up here in the Bay for the Giants. And I just hope they're good, and I hope the Dodgers stay good because, like I said, baseball's better for it, and sports are better for it. You guys have a good one. I love the show. Be safe.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you, man. You're right. The rivalry is better when both teams are really good, and we saw that at Oracle Park in their last series of the regular season.
So let me ask you about the 103 wins, because today the Giants tie the most wins that they've ever had in a singular season in San Francisco Giants history, tying 1962, which none of us were alive at that point, and obviously 1993. Two of our, let's be real, 93 is my favorite team of all time. Right?
Mine too.
Right?
Mine too.
I love those teams.
Well, just in baseball or just in general?
It's my favorite baseball team ever.
Yeah.
That's a team that made me, 89, I started to fall in love. I fell
in love in 89.
What?
89, that team made
Kevin
me
Mitchell
fall in
was
love.
my guy.
He was
I love
my
Kevin
guy.
Mitchell.
By the way, he was great on the 30 for 30.
Come on, Boogie. Come on.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Queens. He was great. But the 93 team was that team.
The 93 team, and I think a lot of people our age really connect with that team. They had a foot in St. Petersburg, like we were just talking about, and they bring in Barry Bonds. It's the final year of Will Clark. You got the full band together, Matt Williams, Robbie Thompson, 2 20-game winners. We've gone over that territory. Where does this team stack up? I know the wins are going to be there. This is going to be the team that has the most regular season success of all time. But, we take a step back, and I know it's about championships and all that, so people might go, 2010, 2012. I think 2012 is one of their best regular season teams of all time. If you just look at the roster top to bottom and the pitching staff and everything that you had going on, even though they lost Brian Wilson, the elite closer that year.
Right.
I don't even think this is a top 4 or 5 team all time, and which is crazy, which kind of goes to show how improbable this year is. Like, am I downplaying this year's team a little? Not giving them enough credit?
Would I take them over the 93 team?
I'm not.
I probably would.
Yeah.
Not that lineup.
I don't even know if I'm taking them over the 97 team.
I'd take them over the 97 team.
You would?
97 team won 90 games. I'd take them over the 97 team.
Wilson Alvarez was sick.
I'm not taking them over the 02 team.
Yeah, me neither.
The
Jeff
02
Kent
Giants.
and Bonds. Come
the
on.
02 team that went to the World
Schmidt,
Series. I will take them over the 03 team that won 100 games and led wire to wire.
They had a bunch of Gold Glovers on that team.
They did, but I take them over that team. Sorry, Rich Aurelia.
Well, they lost Jeff Kent, and there was a lot of moving pieces.
Jason Schmidt. That was basically
Dusty.
it. Kirk Reeder was on the downside of his career. I'd take him over the 03 team.
Nen was gone. I think Nen hurt his arm that year, and it was Tim Worrell.
I would not take them over the 93 team, the 2000 team. The 2000 team, I won 97 games.
Okay.
And I would not take them over the 02 team.
What about the 89 team? I didn't really have like your bona fide aces that you have in some of those other teams.
You didn't with 89. 89 was kind of a team I felt like came out of nowhere as well. Kevin Mitchell, the outlier, having that season where he wins NL MVP. Will Clark doing what he's doing.
47 homers.
Was it 47 or 49?
Yeah,
it was
one of those two.
Yeah, he was unbelievable that season.
Yeah, the Cyclone
World
fence.
is what they called him. World, because he could do everything. And all the stories coming up with Kevin Mitchell, his story, his Wikipedia page, and all that stuff. He's a hoot. 2012 is interesting, and 10 is interesting because they had the pitching.
Yeah. Well, and
could this team hit Lincecum? Could this team hit Matt Cain?
2012 Lincecum wasn't the same as 2010, but he was still okay.
Matt Cain in 2010 was good.
2012 Cain was his best version.
Yep.
He was an ace that year.
That postseason in 2010, though, was special for Matt Cain.
Zito was better down the stretch in
Zito
2012.
was better. Jonathan Sanchez.
Pagan was sick that year.
You never know what you got from Sanchez, but he had the stuff.
No, he did.
He had the stuff.
Was that the
Bumgarner was
emergence
young.
of Vogel song, too, that year?
2010?
2012.
2012 was Vogie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Vogel, dude, they were 5 deep, dude.
Vogie was good.
And then you had Lincecum coming out the pen in that Swifter role. You had Sergio Romo at the height of his powers.
But the lineup wasn't as strong as this lineup.
I don't know.
This
The Hunter Pen steal?
This lineup from top to bottom.
It was Posey's MVP year.
This time, outside of 93, this lineup may be the best in San Francisco history.
You're talking depth or high-end talent? Because I think there's two different conversations.
I think depth, but the way they wear out pitchers, Shasky,
okay.
They wear out pitchers from batter 1 through the leadoff hitter all the way to 8.
So am I living in the past?
No, you're not living in the past. This is a really good team.
I'm not trying to dismiss them.
But I think the lack of star power, I think, is why we're jaded and why we won't give this team the credit it deserves. Because they won 103 games in an era where it's strikeout, home run, or walk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Teams are Teams are shifting all over the place. You're able to bullpen games. You're doing all these things, but this team does have 10 guys with at least 10 jacks.
Well, and I think 2012 is a good comp because, like, Scudero is a great example. Nobody thought Scudero was going to be the dude, right?
Well, I mean, yeah.
He came out of nowhere. And La Stella, I feel like, is giving you a lot of that Scudero stuff.
Right.
And I just look around the diamond. The 2012 team defensively was really good.
They were really good.
Pagan was an excellent center fielder.
Pagan was good.
I think you put Gregor Blanco at times in left field. They had some studs on that team. And then I look at this year's...
And the bullpen was really good.
No, the bullpen
you
was
take the
lights out.
bullpen in 2010
I'll
and
take the 2012 and 2010 bullpens over this
all day
one.
long.
I agree. But here's where I think the edge goes to this team in terms of defense. I think Duggar's really good. I don't know if he's better than what Pagan was in 2012 because that was Pagan's singular best season with the Giants.
Pagan was sick.
The middle of the infield right now, defensively, is ridiculous. Longoria is a ridiculously good third baseman. All right? Crawford is playing better defense at this age right now than in 2012, which I cannot believe I'm saying out loud. Belt is a better version of himself he's hurt now, but at first base. And I think La Stella gives you better defense than what you've seen from Scudero. So I give the edge defensively, and I think the bats get the edge as well. I do. I think even though the batting average isn't better, don't you feel like the bats and the home run ball?
I just said that. Like, not only the home run ball.
But I think I give pitching to 2012.
But it's, the pitching goes to 2012.
Yeah.
But the at-bats, the pitches per at-bats that you see with this Giants team, they wear you out. And I wonder how that would have played with the Matt Cain and Tim Lincecum. Because Lincecum, he would throw a lot of junk.
Yeah, he would.
Would he get this team to bite? Where do you get this 2021 team to bite on those changeups, on those would they catch up to the fastball against him? Let's go with special. But he threw a lot of junk, and I wonder with the approach here with Donnie Yecker and Gabe Kapler, they sit on pitches.
Do I get half a year out of Miguel Cabrera if we're comparing these two teams? Because Melky was so sick.
Oh yeah,
in 2012.
Melky was.
Is there another team like Curly, you big Giants fan? We're gonna do Disney with Dad here in a couple of minutes.
Oh boy, are we doing that?
Yeah, I'm gonna crush you. Is there another team that you guys can think of like regular season? Because it doesn't feel like this is their greatest regular season team, even though it's going to get the number and it's going to be up there for the history books. For some reason, I can't put them as the best Giants regular season team ever.
Real quick, let me read this text. 574.
Yeah.
Should you guys be giving the Giants more credit because of what they've accomplished despite their star power, with their lack of star power? And that's a good point. They don't have a lot of star power. Winning 103 games and holding off the Dodgers so far, who have a lot of star power, it's the most impressive regular season I've seen outside of 1993.
Do you think the postseason, how it ends, is going to help frame the year?
Absolutely.
Because like when I brought up 97, for example, that was a fun, great team.
It was.
That did not win.
It was reminiscent of this team.
Exactly.
They started off 13-3 that year, and we thought, really?
Yeah.
Because they made the trade for Jeff Kent. They traded away Matt Williams, who was a star here in San Francisco.
Had a big deadline deal.
Darryl Hamilton. You bring in Jose Vizcaíno. You make the deadline deal with Wilson Alvarez, Danny Darwin, and Roberto Hernandez.
And also got Joe Carter.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I always think like how it ends is it matters to a lot of people. Like you're soured on the 2003 team. That was a damn good team.
They were wire to wire.
They were so good.
They're wire to wire.
That was a very fundamentally sound team.
Wire to wire.
We just dismiss.
We do.
We just dismiss it off the map, and I find that interesting.
Get in here, Langford. Get in here.
Yeah, like come on, guys. You guys are Giants fans too. I feel like me and him are stuck on 93 being the best team ever. You guys are obviously a little younger.
They're still wearing pull-ups.
Have we unplayed? Have we not given 2010 enough credit?
Wait, you were born in 1993?
Yeah. Damn, I'm old.
Have you ever gone back and YouTube some of those highlights from 93? Of course. What do you think when you pull those highlights up?
My favorite is just watching. For one, it's just watching Barry Bonds. It's not even the '93 teams earlier than that. I mean, I remember like that was those are my earliest baseball memories is seeing the camera flashes whenever Barry Bonds would go up to bat. But I would say this, looking back on those early 2000s teams, like on paper, those ones are better, but throughout the entirety of the regular season and me being 28 at this point and being cognizant of what's going on, it's hard for me to say that any other team was just as good as a regular season as I've seen in this year because they have been insane this year.
Curly, what say you, young man? You're a huge Giants fan. Every time I go to a game, somehow I run into you, and you're doffing your cap off, and you're like sprinkling it like you're begging someone to throw $1 in, like you're playing music down at the Powell Street Station.
Hey, Curly, you see me at a game, just keep it moving, buddy. Don't ask me for anything. I'm off the clock, okay?
And he might be double fisting it with the beers.
He will be. The Bud Lights.
Of course, guys. Let's see. Wait. We got to go top shelf. In terms of Giants, the best memory I have, the youngest memory I have is the Brian Johnson home run. Remember exactly 97. Where I was for that.
How old were you then, Curly?
7.
Wow.
I remember exactly in the living room, exactly going nuts after that homer. 2002 team was stacked. But, guys, it's nothing compared to this. This we didn't have any expectations for. That's what makes this season my favorite Giant season so far.
Wow. I mean, I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. I'm not here to deny it.
It is fun.
I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. It's just I don't know where this thing's going to end, the roadmap, and I'm enjoying every second. All right, let's get into Disney with Dad because we got to do this. I gotta kick your butt. It's Wednesday. It's about 7:45.
I can't believe these guys reported 90s, man. I feel so old right now.
You are old.
I feel so old.
You're so old that you should have been watching these movies that I'm about to talk about right now with your daughter.
Oh, man. This is all bad.
While Bonte Hill was watching sports.
I guess you got to stick out when you're Brandon Nemo. Subway, right?
Finding Nemo.
You got to stick out in Subway.
Have you seen that movie yet?
I have not seen Finding Nemo.
He missed out on all the classic Disney movies.
Mufasa, Simba's father, was voiced by a famous actor. Was that actor Morgan Freeman or was it James Earl Jones?
Morgan Freeman. It was Morgan Freeman. Oh, it's James Earl Jones.
It's James Earl Jones.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
Darth Vader.
Gosh.
Here's Disney with Dad on the Morning Roast.
Bonte Hill. We're going to talk 49ers. Stay there. You want to hear 49er talk? 12 minutes. We're doing King of the Hill. Bonte ranks all the teams, and then we're going to talk a little 49ers, so Niner fans don't go anywhere. But right now,
what happened in the intro with the I want the film don't lie. You got to watch the film.
It's my favorite part of the whole intro. It's my favorite part.
I guess we had to cut him down. We had to condense it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, gosh.
Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, like 1988.
Well, guess what? This movie came out in 1937.
Yeah, I watched this on VHS, VCRs. Langford Curley, you know what a VCR is? That's how I watched this movie.
Now, respect to the early 90s babies. We're not that young. We understand what a VCR is, all right? We all got the Disney videotape still.
All right.
Anyway, keep going.
They were special cases, by the way.
Yeah.
They were bigger than the regular cases.
They were. And they had the plastic covers and everything.
Cover. Yeah, it was special.
They didn't fit. And remember when everyone used to have a VHS like box thing that you drawer underneath
they didn't fit in the drawers.
The big TV console.
Right.
God, I miss those.
I do miss that.
We almost knocked over the TV console so many times. All right. Based on an 1812 German fairy tale by Brothers Grimm, it is the first full-length traditionally animated feature film and the first Disney animated feature film. Released in 1937, Snow White. It's nominated for Best Musical Score at the Academy Awards. The next year, they get an honorary Oscar given to Walt Disney himself.
Wow.
So let's give you a quick little rundown. Having lost both their parents at a young age, Snow White is this princess living with her stepmother, the Queen.
Oh, yeah, she was evil.
Yeah, she was evil.
She was real evil. Yeah.
Real evil.
That's what I remember. She was evil.
Worrying that the young girl would become more beautiful than her, the Queen forces Snow White to work as a maid. And then she turns to her magic mirror every single day and asks, who is the fairest of them all? Do you remember this?
Kind of. Not really, but kind of.
This is like you putting on Instagram. Yeah. For years, the mirror always answers the question to the Queen, you're the fairest of them all. But one day, the magic mirror informs the Queen that Snow White is the fairest, not the Queen. And the Queen says, oh my goodness, I am going to have to eradicate her. And she basically puts a hit out on her like it's Sopranos.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy.
In a cartoon, they're putting hits out in 1932?
She basically orders this person that's called the Huntsman to take Snow White into the forest, kill her, and then bring her heart back in a box.
I don't remember this at all.
It's crazy.
Damn, Snow White this is gangster.
It is gangster.
I maybe need to watch this again.
This is kind of like the new Newark story that's coming out for Sopranos. This is crazy.
This is gangster.
It is. So Snow White obviously flees, and she finds this cottage, and she finds that 7 adult dwarfs are in the cottage. Now here's where it gets tricky, Bonte. We go to question number 1. Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, and 2 more people work in a nearby mine. Are the last 2 dwarfs, are they named Dopey and Sneezy, or are they named Cranky and Lumpy?
It's Dopey and Sneezy. Dopey, baby, let's go. Dopey. I remember Dopey. Yeah.
I just named off all of them just for fun. Can you name all of them back?
Dopey, Sneezy, Bashful. Okay. Grumpy. The other 3.
You, Happy and
Sleepy.
And then me, Doc.
Langford tried to give it to me. I thought he was just falling asleep on the segment.
Snow White awakes, obviously. She falls asleep in the cottage and finds the dwarfs at her bedside. She introduces herself, and they all basically welcome her into the home. And Snow White is the one who kind of keeps the house clean. It's very 1930s, if we're being honest with you.
I can't believe they tried to put a hit out on Snow White. I do not remember that.
Yeah. Well,
damn. For a cartoon? How do you show this to kids? Walt Disney's a very evil guy. I got a beef with Walt Disney now. You got this animation, and you're putting hits out on Snow White in a cartoon movie? Yeah. That's ridiculous.
All right, well, so Snow White is keeping up the house, and she's playing with all the different little animals while the dwarfs go mine for something, okay? They're going to go to work, all right?
Okay.
Are they mining for coal or jewels?
Ooh, well, it's 1932. There ain't really no jewelry around. And I can't believe that Walt Disney would do that. So they are mining for coal. Coal it is. Coal.
No, it's jewels. It's jewels.
Jewels?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What was George going to do with Jules? Give him to Snow White?
Yeah.
That was the whole point?
Well,
so they were mining for...
We're getting to it. We got to hurry this up, though. All right. Meanwhile, the mirror reveals to Snow White, to the queen, that, Snow White's living with the dwarfs. The queen goes out there and basically enchants herself into being this old person who gives an apple to Snow White. She bites the apple. She falls asleep.
Yeah. It was a poison apple.
Absolutely. Poison apple.
Yep.
Very much like Adam and Eve, even though that's been discussed as a pomegranate or an apple. So Snow White falls asleep for a year, and then the prince finds out she's sleeping. She kisses him, blah, 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 blah. But that's not the point. It was the musical score of this particular movie that left so many fans so happy, and they would definitely chant a lot of these songs. It won Best Musical Score. And here are two of the biggest, most popular hits of 1937. But which two are they, Bonte? Is it Whistle While You Work and Hey Ho? Or
Whistle While You Work.
Or
that's the Yin-Yang Twins.
Or is it Give It a Little Whistle and Wish Upon a Star?
It's that one right there. Come on, Wish Upon a Star and Give a Little Whistle. Come on. What?
No.
Whistle While You Work? That's a twerking song. That's not Snow White.
The Yin-Yang Twins remixed it.
Thank you. What world are you in?
What? Whistle While You Work. See, I don't think of Snow White when I think that. I think of very inappropriate things. Hopefully kids don't listen to this one. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
The other two are Pinocchio, by the way.
Just whistle while you work.
Yin-Yang Twins really remixed the song. That makes their stock has gone up in my book. That is some savagery right there.
You lost again.
I lost again.
All right, let's go to break because I want to talk NFL and I want to make fun of you some more on Snow White because Disney with Dad, I'm undefeated, never lost.
No, I've won. I've won the first 2 weeks. First 2 weeks, Curly. Rack it up. More coming up on our roast. Peter King sound from DRK yesterday. Don't want to miss that. We'll talk some Niners here on the morning roast. Snow White. Come on, man.
Trent Williams joins Damon Ratto and Kolsky today at 4:45.
He is such a powerful and super athletic left tackle.
Number one tackle ever is Trent.
That's the best tackle I faced this year.
Trent made it cool to be an offensive lineman.
Trent Williams today at 4:45. This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Hey, sports fans, it's Kate Scott, and I don't know about you, but for me, we have officially reached the most wonderful time of the year. I know some people say that comes in December. No. The time is now, y'all. College football and the NFL are back. Postseason baseball is here. The start of the NBA and NHL seasons are just around the corner. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and the most wonderful way to enjoy all of your favorite sports, well, Xfinity, of course, because Xfinity has everything a sports fan desires. They've got live games, they've got sports shows, highlights, replays, a voice remote to take you instantly to the game or team you want to see. And really, on that note, if you haven't used the voice remote function yet, catch up. It makes finding your game so easy. Just hold down the blue microphone button and say, Cal football or whatever team you want to see. Boom, pops right up. So if you want to stay connected to your favorite teams in the easiest way possible, what are you waiting for? Elevate your game day with Xfinity. It is a way better way to watch. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store near you.
Restrictions apply.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you might miss out on these once-in-a-lifetime rates. So take advantage of our new Fast Track loan with an unbelievable low rate of 2.125 rate and APR with no closing costs on a 15-year fixed loan. That's right, no points, no fees. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Lennox Financial, a trusted lender for over 20 years. Even if you've refinanced in the last year, we can still probably save you money. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we can do them all with no closing costs. This amazing 2.125 rate and APR won't last long, so call today, 844-425-3669. That's 844-425-3669. 844-425-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind.
Licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender. Visit us at LennoxHomeLoans.com or call for additional cost information. Other restrictions apply. Rates subject to change.
Just hearing the word cancer can be frightening. At Kaiser Permanente, we're a leader in the prevention, early detection, and treatment of cancer. We keep track of your cancer screenings and remind you when it's time for the next one. And if you ever do hear that word, our teams of specialists use cutting-edge treatments to help make other words like hope, recovery, and cancer-free possible. Kaiser Permanente, tomorrow's healthcare, today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
Lucky California knows that great food can make you the football party MVP. And when you get it affordably, that's what legends are made of. So we have amazing deals all season long. This week, beef tri-tip roast is just $3.88 a pound, untrimmed in the Max Pack. And with Lucky You rewards, you can save even more. Right now, get $5 off a $25 purchase of any Pepsi or Frito-Lay products. Mix and match. Lucky California, the golden state of eating.
Hey, I'm Brian Peacock, host of Locked On 49ers, a daily podcast covering your favorite team. Every Niners angle every day. Camp battles, film reviews, matchups, the all-important game recaps if you need a place to go celebrate after the game, or in some cases, lament what went wrong. It should be the first podcast for 49ers fans in your feed every single day. Listen to Locked On 49ers on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
A deeper connection with water can change your life, and that's what the home's first smart water network does. It turns your everyday routine into a customized experience.
Moen, fill the baby's bottle.
And it can stop a catastrophic leak with a simple water designs our life. Who designs for water? Moen.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm that voice from movies you watch on demand. DirecTV Stream brought us together to save the world.
Maybe not save the world, but DirecTV Stream does bring your live and on-demand favorites together.
Your favorites together.
I just said that.
She just said that.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on-demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
It's the Home and Auto Bundle Extrava Festa Save-a-thon, the annual year-long event where you can save big by bundling Home and Auto with Progressive. So big that we're kicking things off with fireworks, a monster truck battle, a fighter jet flyover, and it wouldn't be a party without the Home and Auto Bundle Extrava Festa Save-a-thon dancers. You can't really hear them, but trust us, they are working it. So come for the fun and stay for the savings. Only at Progressive's Home and Auto Bundle Extrava Festa Save-a-thon.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Bay Area. It's Joe Shasky from the Morning Roast. You're listening to KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup presented by Timeless Coffee.
Disney with Dad. And your boy caught his third straight L with that one. And a lot of people getting on me on the text line. Ying Yang Twins. Bonte, it's not whistle while you work. It's whistle while you twerk. Folks, we got kids going to school. I can't let kids know what twerking is. You know? Can't let them do that. Like Anna tries to she'll hear a song, she'll try to twerk. I'm like, no. Baby Chess is right here. She doesn't need those images in her brain right now. So Whistle While You Work is my G-rated version of that song.
Speaking of Disney, and I really want to hear your King of the Hill in a second, and I obviously want to get into the 49ers.
We're going to do King of the Hill 9 o'clock hour. 9 o'clock hour.
That's fine.
9
Apologies.
o'clock hour.
The Book of Boba Fett is going to be out December 29th on Disney+. What
the hell is that?
Oh, it's Star Wars. Boba Fett's one of the greatest characters in Star Wars history. He's a bounty hunter. Our own Nick Friedel, the entire character that I've created for him on these airwaves is based on Bubba.
By the way, it was good to see Cousin Nick.
Oh, so good to see him.
Cousin Nick. He gives you these big hugs.
He was going to come to the game with me on Sunday, but there's a Warrior practice.
He's going to come to the Seahawks game?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So... took my third straight L in Disney with that.
Yeah.
By the way, from you,
yes,
I need a list of Star Wars movies. I want to watch some in chronological order.
Okay, wait. Okay,
chronological order.
When you say there's timeline.
Yeah.
All right, and then
should I start with the 70s? I got to start with the OGs.
Yeah, I would start with in the way that they were released, the theatrical release order.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
All right.
The prequels, which are the ones that were in the early 2000s, have grown on me tremendously. I actually think the third prequel is one of the best movies of the entire lot, and I actually like the ones that were recently released, episode 7, 8, 9.
So there's like 20 movies I have to watch, huh?
Yeah, just the main ones should be good to go. The main ones should be good to go. I think Kylo Ren is a very underrated bad guy. I think people lost their minds on him. He did a great job. I like Rey. I didn't love the third one.
I just want the first 5, right? What was it? The original, Return of the Jedi, 6, right?
There's trilogies. So there's 3 different trilogies.
Gosh, this is just... They were raking people for money. They were raking in dough.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely.
Wow.
But, I mean, it's a fantastic...
George Lucas, man.
I mean, the story writing is incredible.
Every Disney with Dad reminds me of me, that Sushi Man, because he gets them all wrong. Sushi Man out there. Let's get to some Niners here. We talked attendance with the Giants. Giants won 103 wins. Everybody should be jacked up about that. Forget the attendance. It's the pandemic. It's just something that I would not tweet out about the attendance. I get it. They have the best team in baseball. They've had the best team in baseball for 119 straight days. They're holding off the L.A. Dodgers. You see Dodger crowds going into 50,000s, 52,000 or whatnot. It's just something I'm not going to get on when you know the area. You know the financial ramifications the pandemic has had on people. Well, first of all, San Francisco is expensive.
Well, no, and I think it's more of an indictment on the city of San Francisco right now and where people are at in the city in general and their feelings on the city. You talk to people that have moved out, and they're like, dude, I don't even look back at what's going on in San Francisco. There's too many, too much crime, too much homelessness. There's too much poverty. There's too much break-ins. The cost of living is through the roof. Education's expensive. I don't trust the public school system. There are a lot of issues that San Francisco has that I think the stadium and stuff, I think a lot of carryover feelings for the city. People are carrying those over and reasons on why they wouldn't want to go from the North Bay, East Bay, South Bay and come in to San Francisco.
Gas is high.
Yeah.
Rent's high. People are losing money. You're working from home. It's just a lot.
And there's no novelty act.
I'm not scoffing at 28,000.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not scoffing at 28,000. What is that? 13,000 short of capacity? Not bad.
Yeah.
It gets Diamondbacks on a Tuesday night, but let's get to the 49ers here because it is Seahawk week.
Yeah.
And it's time to ramp up for the Seahawks. We're getting past the Green Bay Packers loss Sunday night, 30-28. Of course, Mason Crosby wins Special Teams Player of the Week for that 51-yard field goal to win the game for the Packers. Richard Sherman is now signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have some sound from that we'll play a little bit later this hour. But Peter King was on with DRK. Yesterday. And he goes on there every single week like we have Baldy every single week. And Peter King was asked whether or not the offense is limited with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback.
They need to have a quarterback who's going to challenge a secondary more. And it's hard to tell right now whether Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to call plays that call for the quarterback to challenge outside the numbers. But when I'm watching the game, that bothers me. It bothers me. Now, look, Garoppolo had a really, really good drive at the end of the game. And it's clear Jimmy Garoppolo is not afraid. He's been battle-tested and all that. The question is his arm good enough to trust him consistently on throws like that?
Peter King yesterday with Damon, Rattle, and Kolsky right here on 95.7 The Game says the Niners need to challenge teams down the field. They need to stretch the football field, and he doesn't know whether or not Jimmy Garoppolo can consistently do that. Your thoughts on what Peter King had to say?
I mean, I agree. I don't know anybody that doesn't agree with that. Like, did Jimmy have a nice drive at the end? Yeah, he did. Well, what about the 3.5 quarters leading up to that? You've seen all this all-22 footage that's coming out. Wide receivers are frustrated that the ball's not coming out to them on time. You don't see that with a lot of the marquee quarterbacks in the league and their wide receivers throwing tantrums on the field. Look, Jimmy can make plays. No one's here saying that he's a bum. No one's here saying that the guy absolutely stinks. The question is like, Is he the guy that can get this team and their offensive weapons the most out of what they have right now? I don't know about that. Is Trey Lance going to go in and make plays that make him look like a rookie and make mistakes? Yeah, he is. Right now, Jimmy Garoppolo's on pace for more than close to 25 turnovers in a season.
Not good.
That's more than 1.5 turnovers per game. Now that's kind of been I've told you about the turnover thing for a long time. I've been all over it. It's not just the interceptions, it's the fumbles as well. And it's how ugly they are and where they're at on the field. If he was a ball security guy as a game manager, I'd be okay with him not taking shots downfield. But you can't be a guy that turns the ball over and is pedestrian offensively.
Right.
That is a recipe for being completely mediocre and underwhelming. And then there's no wonder your wide receivers are having all their routes jumped. Everybody knows you're trying to throw slants all day.
Everybody. Now, there's no doubt Garoppolo did not play well Sunday night. The last drive was good. But overall, he did not play well Sunday night.
Doesn't it feel like, we're all finally, not you and me, but just in general, everyone's finally coming around to...
No, I don't think everybody's coming around to it.
You don't?
No. You saw the phone calls we took Monday, the texters we see every single day, the tweets that we see every single day. There's still people that think that Jimmy Garoppolo gives this team the best chance to win and that Jimmy's not the problem. The defense is the problem. The lack of a running game is the problem. The offensive line is a problem. There's still a lot of people who have not come around. I started to come around when we went down to training camp, and we saw practice with our own two eyes, and people were going to say, oh, it's just practice. It's just practice. I saw two quarterbacks, and I was like, wow, one looks dramatically different than the other one, and the one that looks different than the other one looks like he can help this team go. And he does things with the football that I haven't seen here since Colin Kaepernick.
I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying general perception is starting to shift, where Jimmy Garoppolo and the faith that people have in him, the trust, maybe the leeway, is starting to wane.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're all the way
but
there.
It's also...
We're like in the middle of this.
You know what's also happening is people are starting to look at Kyle Shanahan as well.
That
is something that hasn't happened up until this point.
You're right.
Shanahan has gotten a pass for a lot of things with this organization over the last 4.5 years.
Don't you find it interesting that someone like Peter King would come out and say that, because he has his own opinions, but usually a lot of his opinions are wrapped in sources and what's going on inside the building. And we know that when it comes to the 49ers, Peter King has said many times he's got people inside there that not feed him information, but give him good insight. And I think he's operating on a lot of what's going on in the building. He's going to voice some of that. Not all of it, but some of that. So the fact that he's coming around on this, that, to me, is kind of telling. I think this is an impactful statement by someone like Peter King.
Well, let's hear what he had to say about Trey Lance here before we get back out to the lines. 888-957-9570. We're talking 49ers football here. How close is Shanahan to replacing Jimmy Garoppolo? We have no idea. But Peter King just said that the Niners need to challenge teams down the football field, and Garoppolo hasn't consistently done that. Well, here's what he had to say about Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is going to have to be significantly better than Jimmy Garoppolo to play, because Kyle Shanahan you have to go to your owner and say, hey, by the way, we're probably going to play Jimmy Garoppolo. We're not positive. We're probably going to play Jimmy Garoppolo, but I just want to know, if we do bench him and he's making $25 million, are you okay with that? And I think that's about how the conversation went.
Peter King yesterday with Damon Radokowski right here on 95.7 The Game.
So this narrative we wrap around the quarterback, it drives me kind of crazy. Solomon Thomas was a high draft pick who was making, at the time, the most money on the defensive line. Did they have any problem putting him on the bench?
Absolutely not.
So why do we talk about the quarterback position like it's like the unicorn spot?
Well, something I asked you during the draft, you asked me, I remember at some point this summer, would you be cool with benching $26 million if Trey Lance was better? And I said, absolutely. All right, you have a $26 million backup. Well, if something happens to Trey Lance, at least you got a comparable backup who has led a team to a Super Bowl, helped lead a team to a Super Bowl in Jimmy Garoppolo. I would have no problem. Money doesn't – who gives me the best chance to win? The contract is the contract, right?
Well,
the
they call that sunken cost.
Right, it is what it is.
Yeah, you've already invested in it.
It is what it is.
Money on that. There's no doubt. My thing was from an ownership standpoint, yeah, it'd be tough to write that check out. I've written a lot of checks, if I'm Jed York, over the years that have not worked out.
Yeah.
Have you seen Malcolm Smith's money that he got without barely playing a dime?
Before you continue, the Garoppolo deal has worked out.
No, it's been a good deal.
This has been a good deal for the 49ers. It's been a good deal.
I wanted more.
Right.
Jimmy wanted more, like in terms of like impact and whatnot. But like the second round pick and the extension, you do it every single time.
You do it every single time.
And if you look around the league, some of the other money, it wasn't the Flacco deal, which the Flacco deal really stuck them in purgatory for a couple of years. It hasn't done that. And if you look at what he's making in contrast to other players around the league, it's not $40 million. It's not $38 million. It's what, 25 this year?
Yep.
Right? So, yes, it's a lot, and there's no doubt it's a lot. It's twice as big, I think, as any other player on the team right now. But here's where it gets tough. Combining that with the number 3 overall pick, now you have the most expensive quarterback room in football.
Right.
So forget Jimmy's contract. I look at that as a position as a whole. That's just way too much money to invest in what you're getting in terms of output.
Let's go to Steven in Vacaville. Steven, what's happening? You're on the road, so you're on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, I got to say, Jimmy doesn't throw a beautiful ball. It's not like Trey Lance down the field, but Trey Lance is doing something that we kind of need right now because I don't know what happens to the old line or Shanahan's getting out coached in the front line. We're losing the trenches. If you didn't see, I mean, we obviously didn't run well on Philadelphia, and the Cowboys ran all over them. And Green Bay was pretty much in the backfield most of the time, and Shanahan was kind of to adjust the game plan because they were getting smoked. So having Trey there, although he's going to be having some learning things, he's going to be at least able to run the ball and give a threat and help more with the running game because right now it's lackluster due to all the injuries and suspect offense.
It is. And Stephen, good call. And this is what makes me hesitant about Trey Lance playing right now. You got to fix this offensive line. Alex Mack was not good last week. All right? Brunskill has stunk the last 2 weeks at right guard. All right, do I want to put a rookie behind two guys when you look at the interior of these defensive lines in the division? J.J. Watt playing inside at times with Arizona. They have a really good defensive line. Chandler Jones, we know what he did the first week of the season. And, of course, that dude, number 99 in L.A., Aaron Donald. Brunskill's a problem right now. Alex Mack hasn't played well. Do I want to put a rookie quarterback behind that at the moment? I need to rectify this offensive line before I do anything at the quarterback position.
Okay, I hear that, and I get what you're saying. I got two different counters to that. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have the greatest offensive line right now, and they went out and spent a ton of money on offensive line.
They're 1-2.
I know.
And he's been getting beat up.
Yeah, but like this thing, like I wouldn't want to put a rookie behind this offensive line. I wouldn't want to put any quarterback behind a lot of the lines.
You want a more experienced quarterback behind a more mediocre offensive line because at least a quarterback will know where the rush is coming from. He's seen some of the defenses. He knows how to adjust. He knows how to slide the protection.
Ideally.
I don't agree with that.
But Bonte, throughout your entire career, like you're never going to have a flawless O-line. There's always going to be a weak spot or weaker players on that O-line.
But Trey Lance hasn't seen NFL defenses.
There's no doubt. But here's the thing that Trey Lance can do that Jimmy Garoppolo cannot. He just cannot. When you run even just a couple of gun runs, it forces that D-end on the line to wait. And now you're taking out one defender off the field. And schematically, it makes the run game open up because you have to honor the running back, the quarterback running the football.
I hear that.
And that part, I do think, again, can you use it all game? No. But it can open things up a little here and there.
Shasky.
Right now, no one honors Jimmy Garoppolo moving.
But here's the thing, Shasky. Kenny Clark blew up everything.
He did.
In the middle of your offense.
He did.
Aaron Donald will blow up everything in the middle of your offense. The Philadelphia Eagles, Fletcher Cox or Hargraves, blew up everything in the middle. You can't even get the snap to the quarterback without a guy in the backfield. Ain't no RPO working when that's happening.
So what, next year he's going to have more seasoning because he ran we're playing this out. Like,
no.
So he's going to be more equipped to be able to, because you're still going to have flaws. You're still going to play Aaron Donald next year.
Yeah, but your offensive line, you'll have an offseason to maybe beef up this offensive line and get it better. Maybe with draft picks. Maybe with free agency.
Settings are never going to be optimal. You just got to play. Football is about playing
but
and
think
making
about
the
what
most.
you're saying, though. Mahomes has experience. Sitting for a year definitely helped.
Of course.
Learning from Alex Smith definitely helped. I think Alex Smith is a smarter quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he holds on to the ball
and in the film room, that probably helped out Patrick Mahomes big time. He's admitted so. These other guys who sat for a year, learning on the fly can be helpful. I agree with that. It can be helpful. But Trey Lance there is something that Trey Lance haven't playing football for 2 years and not seeing the defenses at the NFL level.
That to me, I think, is the bigger thing. Like, we talk so much about reps. I'm a believer in reps. Our boss told me for many years, when I was like, I'm ready, he would say to me, no, you need more reps. And I didn't believe it, but you do need live bullets. You need live bullets. And I know that practice is one thing. Playing in the games helps. Is Justin Herbert better having played last year behind a porous offensive line?
I thought their line was a bit better, and he was able to move. But you're right. He played a lot better, and it was better for him to play in those games. I do agree.
Exactly.
I do agree.
I think there is a level of concession when you play a rookie.
Real quick, don't forget, though, Herbert was coming from Oregon.
He got
to play. He got to play.
He got a 4-year starter.
Played a lot more football than Trey Lance.
No, he started for 4 straight years.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But that's what makes me scared about Trey. I don't want him not playing football for 2 full seasons.
Right.
That's not good for a young player. He does need to go out there and play so that he can see the speed, work on things, try to fit things in, go back to the lab, work on all the stuff that he's short on.
Let me ask you this. With playing Trey Lance, because in a lot of people's minds, a lot of fans' minds, if you play Trey Lance, you're basically conceding the season, saying, you know what, it's about developing Trey Lance. If we win a couple games, great, but we're about developing Trey Lance. And there's going to be fans not happy about that, because there's a lot of fans who do believe this team has what it takes to make a deep run in January with the strong running game, with the strong defensive line. Now, we haven't seen that yet this season, but there are a lot of fans who would say you're basically conceding the season. You're punting on the 2021 season.
Yeah, and my counter to that would be playing Jimmy Garoppolo concedes 45% of the field. Like, that's what I would say. You're literally limiting yourself as a team offensively playing this guy. He will not throw the ball to the boundaries past 10 yards. And that, to me, is conceding your offense and your playbook, right? Yes, playing the kid, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Can I offset those with pop plays? I think you can.
Let's go to Jay in San Jose. Jay, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, how you guys doing, gentlemen? Always a pleasure. Hey, I think everybody understands that Garoppolo has limitations, but we've been winning with Garoppolo in the last, couple of years. I mean, his win-loss record is incredible, but I don't know if it's time to put Trey in. He's also going to be limited because of his inexperience. I know he could throw far and whatnot, use his legs a little bit, but I think if we do that, it's going to be an issue at this point. I think it'd be better if we're like 10 games in. I think I would feel better doing that. Just because of the playbook, understanding defense and stuff like that.
So this is where I come down on this.
Thanks for the call, Jay.
I was hearing a lot of Philadelphia people bring up Jalen Hurts, and he got to play at the end of the year, all right, last year, and you didn't know if that was real, what you saw at the end, because, situations are different. You're out of it. You got nothing to play for, etc. And you're trying to roll that over into this year, and it's clear Jalen Hurts needed as many reps as he could have gotten last year to help him to get into this year.
Right.
He's still very raw. I don't even know if he's going to be an NFL quarterback.
Right.
I really don't know right now. But when you only play a guy a couple of games, and he's saying 10, so you get 7 starts, you can get a good look of someone. If you're already thinking about it, just do it. Rip the Band-Aid off and just do it. And this thing about team wins, look, winning. Jimmy wins games. So does Deebo Samuel, and so does Nick Bosa. When those two are in the lineup, they have a 75% winning clip, both of those guys combined. So as much as we love to make the quarterback about winning and losing, and they
quarterback's the most important position on the field.
They play a huge part in that.
The most important position.
No one's saying that they don't, but winning is not everything, right? Winning is not everything. There's more to evaluating the quarterback position than just pivoting and saying Jimmy wins.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's getting your team in a right set. It's getting your team lined up right. It's not having pre-snap penalties, false starts, delay games. It's about being in football games, knowing what play to run, having a veteran presence out there, and being composed in those big games like he was in 2019. There is something to that. Let's go to Troy in San Rafael. Then we'll get to the rest of the calls after the break here. Troy, what's happening?
Hey, guys. Look, I just got a couple things to say real quick. 20, please. Super Lotto. Yesterday, one of the callers said something really prolific. If they had won that game, we wouldn't be having these conversations.
I disagree.
And the other thing is, how many rookie quarterbacks have come out of college looking so promising and then ended up becoming yesterday's news?
It's a good point.
So you're putting all our faith in a rookie that you really don't know anything about.
They see him every single day in practice. Every single day. This is their hand-selected guy. NBC's Bay Area is doing like a 5-part documentary on how they found the guy. And I did a little research on the winning thing. He's 5-4, Jimmy Garoppolo, in 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
So the 2019, we feel very farly removed.
There's context to it, though.
Yeah, what is it?
There is. You go into that first game last season, Kendrick Bourne, Dante Pettis, Trent Taylor, who's starting wide receivers.
I'm paying you $25 million a year. Overcome it.
Tom Brady ain't winning with that group.
Tom
Brady ain't winning with that group.
Tom Brady went to the playoffs with no weapons.
Tom Brady ain't
Myers, undrafted.
And they got bounced because they were in a weak division.
The playoffs, though.
They were in a weak division. The AFC East sucked.
It does. I'm not here to cape up for it.
All right, you got a bye week, and that you're playing on wild card round because you lost to the Dolphins that year. You lost to the Dolphins, and you were one and done. You were one and done. You couldn't move the football. Couldn't move it.
Please, Brady and Jimmy, let's not.
Kendrick Bourne, Trent Taylor. All right, Kittle gets hurt. Now I get it; it's Jimmy's fault, but you don't have Kittle in the second round. I get it, but come on, man. I get it. You're 3-3 in 2020. 3-3 with all those injuries.
And here's the other thing. Would we be talking about the quarterback play even though they won? Hell yeah.
Oh, well, you know what?
Bunte, who has come – I came out of playoff victory saying to myself, I have no idea if Jimmy Garoppolo can take this team where they need to go because this defense is Super Bowl caliber. So maybe other people haven't, but I know you and I, we have these conversations
all
out
the
of
time.
every single game. The Warriors
It's
won
there.
X amount of games, and we were like critiquing Wiseman, Oubre, Draymond. That's what we do in sports. You win, and you take a deep breath, and then we look back and we go, all right, who played good and who didn't? We don't just go, everything's fine.
No, it's true. It's true. More 49er talk. Antonio, Abe, Casey. Stay on hold. We'll get you on the other side. Download the Odyssey app. Go to the homepage and look for the exclusive stations tab. There is something for everyone, including me. Alternative rock, baby. Better find that. Who says I don't like alternative rock? Pandora's Box tomorrow? Is that what we're doing tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I don't want to do that.
Oh.
I'm wrong all the time. Why are you smiling ear to ear when I say that? Pandora's
Because
Box?
I've got some songs
You like making a fool of me, huh? You do.
I'm going to be honest. I love how confident you are. You're like, yeah, Yin Yang Twins. Let's do this. like the 1937 Disney movie went into the future with Doc.
Okay, I'm blown away by Yin Yang
Twins. Gray's
Twins.
Almanac.
Dude, I'm blown away by Yin Yang Twins, remixing that Snow White song. I had no idea. Anyway, roaming around on the Odyssey app is very, very cool. The new Odyssey exclusive station on the Odyssey app, brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
Trent Williams joins Damon Radowinkowski today at 4:45.
He is such a powerful and super athletic left tackle.
Number one tackle ever is Trent.
That's the best tackle I faced this year.
Trent made it cool to be an offensive lineman.
Trent Williams today at 4:45. This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Coffee. It's Joe Shatsky, the Butcher, and Ponce Hill. And let's just get right back into it. We're talking about Jimmy G. I see the calls lined up here. We're going to get you in just a second here. But Peter King, a Monday morning quarterback, has been a long-time NFL writer, one of the Hall of Fame voters for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He joins Damon Radonkowski every single week. And here's what he had to say about the 49ers offense as we get right back into 49ers talk. Seahawks week. Giants won 103 games. We talked a lot of Giants. We'll get back to them in a second. Right now we're humming on the Niners here. Here's what Peter King had to say about the offense.
They need to have a quarterback who's going to challenge a secondary more. And it's hard to tell right now whether Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to call plays that call for the quarterback to challenge outside the numbers. But when I'm watching the game, that bothers me. It bothers me. Now, look, Garoppolo had a really, really good drive at the end of the game. And it's clear Jimmy Garoppolo is not afraid. He's been battle-tested and all that. The question is his arm good enough to trust him consistently on throws like that?
It isn't just the arm, because we keep talking about spots on the field that he can't throw to. It's also the decision-making. It's the decision-making on who to throw to. And teams are just game planning them and playing them so tight. I mean, I feel like they're 2 steps ahead of the 49ers at every single turn. Like, for Shanahan to, quote-unquote, open it up, I think he does need to go to the relief pitcher here.
Why not just try to open it up with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Because
why not just give him the shit? So what? I would say open it up and let Jimmy Garoppolo prove to him that he can't do what he wants to do.
But if you see it in practice every single day and you know it's going to have horrific results, then why would you do it?
Then he shouldn't be playing.
Well, then I'm in agreement with that. But isn't the essence of coaching, like, because I know where you're going with Shanahan, isn't the essence of coaching, no matter who's out there, to try to put them in the best position to succeed and not fail?
No doubt. But also you got to say, hey, look, I need you to do these things. In order for us to win these games and adjust in 2021, you need to do these things. And if you can't do these things, I got to go to the rook.
If there was no money and no resume attached to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Forget the money.
No, but let's just, I'm asking you, would he be still starting for this team?
I don't know, because I saw Drew Bledsoe struggle, and Bill Parcells said, you know what, I'm going to Tony Romo. I'm going to Tony Romo. Tony Romo comes back, and you know what the Cowboys do with Dak Prescott? Well, this guy's winning games for us.
It's true.
Tony, sit down.
It's true.
Tony Romo.
But that's Tuna, and Tuna's not Shanahan.
He's going to score! And that's later on Jason Garrett. And that's Jason Garrett as well. I do love Romo in the booth. I do love Romo. Let's go back to the calls. Calls are lit up here. Let's go to Rick in Dallas.
That's another guy I want
Rick in Dallas. Rick, what's happening? You're on the game.
Hey, what's good, you know? Hey, real quick, Bonte, let me get on you, bro. There's a lot of us out here in Dallas, bro. You said a couple of days ago about somebody's only Niner fan in Dallas. We out here.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's how we fill up the stadium, yo. You see it red out there. Now,
I love it.
The thing I'm calling, though. All right, so my thing about Shanahan, Jimmy is not mobile, right? We're not saying he's rushing nothing, but we've seen him scramble when he had to. I haven't seen the rollouts. I mean, if you're getting pressure up the middle, you ain't trying to, like, move the platform. You're just going to let him sit there. I mean, I'm looking at that like, okay, Lance can do, we know that. But we need to see if Jimmy can or can't, so everybody can be like, get him out. We want to throw deep. He can't do it. Like you were saying, if he can't throw deep, we all see it, get him out. But then in the Eagles game, Shanahan was like, yo, some of those plays, he said Jimmy made the right call. Even though we were like, Sheffield was about to split it, he was like, no, the right call was to what Garoppolo made. So he's kind of saying, like, yeah, throw the check down, throw the small stuff. But we saying we want the deep stuff. But Shanahan making it seem like the small stuff is what he wants, but then we don't see any.
Yeah, see, I view it this way.
And then throw it.
Yeah, I view it this way.
Thanks for calling us.
Steph Curry, there's no bad shot on the court, right? He can shoot anywhere he wants. Kevon Looney, I don't know if I want you shooting any three-pointers. In fact, I know I don't want you shooting three-pointers. And I think the same can be said for certain quarterbacks. There's not a throw on the field Patrick Mahomes can't make, right? There are throws that I want no business of Jimmy Garoppolo throwing at any time. Now, I don't know where Trey Lance falls on this spectrum. We just don't know right now. He could be Blaine Gabbert 2.0. We have no idea. He could be the next coming. I don't know. We'll see. I know one thing's for sure. Jimmy Garoppolo at times thinks that he can make throws that he just can't. And at times, his decision-making on who to throw to, I just question what he's looking at.
Well, he should have benched him then. But here's what Peter King said, 95.7 a game, NFL Insider, on Trey Lance yesterday on DRK. Here's what Peter King, our 95.7 a game NFL Insider, had to say about Trey Lance possibly being the starter.
Trey Lance is going to have to be significantly better than Jimmy Garoppolo to play, because Kyle Shanahan you have to go to your owner and say, hey, by the way, we're probably going to play Jimmy Garoppolo. We're not positive. We're probably going to play Jimmy Garoppolo, but I just want to know, if we do bench him and he's making $25 million, are you okay with that? And I think that's about how the conversation went.
Peter King yesterday on DRK about the Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo situation.
So on that alone, it's like they would never have traded up what they did if they didn't go, hey, when the time's ready, we're ready to turn the page immediately. Well, it doesn't matter. Like, we got to go to the owner, talk him about Jimmy Garoppolo. The owner knows exactly how you feel about Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why you went up and traded the most draft capital in 49er history to go get this kid.
Well, that's why it was laughable when Jed York sat down in the summer with Matt Mayoko and Laura Britt. Hey, we're okay with sitting Trey for 2 years. It's like,
I got Jed's back on that one. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what? This is why I like Jed.
I like you too, Jed.
But what you should say as a business owner.
No.
I will financially back whatever my coach wants to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't mean that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, but
he's just saving face. I'm okay with Jed.
Don't throw that out there. Because we all know, like,
Jed, give me a job.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're doing. You're kissing some booty here to get some red and gold. You trying to get some tickets or something, man? What are you doing here?
There's a few varsity jackets that I was looking to get. They got some season ticket holder varsity jackets.
Call Al Guido. You got Al Guido on speed dial.
Dude, Al gave Joe Staley a authentic new 94 throwback on the spot. It was a little snug on Joe. I'm not going to lie. He lost some weight. I think they underestimated the size jersey that he needed to wear.
Right.
But I was thinking that maybe Al would have mine ready for me in the elevator, but no, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. Let's go to Abe in Concord. Abe, what's happening? You're on the roast here on 95.7.
Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on. I always listen to you guys. Just wanted to bring up some points. So I'm not a pro Jimmy guy, but I will say the guy's record, he gets something done. I don't even exactly know what he does well, to be honest with you, because I'm tired of 4-yard average throws and just dump offs, but that's besides the fact. What I'm really calling about here is of the first round draft quarterbacks, who of these guys would you actually think Shanahan would even start right now?
Joe Burrow.
Because if it's not Lance, then I don't think he's even starting Lawrence or any of these other guys.
He's starting Trevor Lawrence.
He would start. Oh, you're talking about this year.
This year's class. Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. Yeah. Yo, Trevor Lawrence in a heartbeat. Look, they could have taken anyone but Lawrence and Wilson. I don't think he'd play Wilson right away, but I do think he would have played Trevor Lawrence like yesterday.
Do you think he plays Justin Fields right away?
No. They could have taken Justin Fields if they liked him.
I know.
There's a reason that they didn't. Now,
Mac Jones?
Now, let's go back.
Mac Jones?
No. Mac Jones is I think Mac Jones throws a prettier deep ball and a better deep ball than Jimmy.
I'd say this.
Mac's got a ways to go.
If the Niners would have drafted Mac Jones, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's on a football team.
Well, maybe. They're very similar.
I think Mac Jones would have been starting.
I mean, the Mac Jones thing. All right,
go to Casey in San Jose.
Can we go back 1 year real quick?
Casey in San Jose first. Hold that thought. Casey in San Jose first. Because I saw you about to blow a gasket.
Yeah, I'm going to blow a gasket.
You just turned red on me.
Yeah. Hey, Casey.
What's up, Casey?
Hey, guys. So everybody kind of covered what I was going to say as far as, Jimmy can know the defense because he's the veteran, but if he can't do anything with it, like if he sees a deep thing, deep is open, but he can't make the throw, what's the point? And the other thing I'll say is, Jimmy is the wife, Trey is the girlfriend, and you know what? I got myself a 4-year itch. I don't want to just meet up on a Thursday afternoon rendezvous. I want to take the girlfriend out for a ride Saturday weekend. Start the divorce proceedings. Let's do this.
Oh my gosh. The relationship analogies when it comes to Jimmy G and Trey Lance is all over the place. What about this? Our boy Niner Nick Newman. He's all over the place, right? He's hitting us up yesterday for RTs. Nick Newman, I ain't RTing your stuff. Stop asking me to retweet. You could have had Nick Newman on my timeline every single day. I love you, Nick. But this is a great question. He goes,
by the young man.
What is time?
Internet.
Yeah, I love you, Nick. I love you, Nick. 650, worst take ever about Mac Jones. Ponce, you're done. All right, I get it. Mac Jones just triggers people. I get it. McCorkle Jones. When it's time, this is what Newman just tweeted.
Can you please get to it?
The underperformer of the 2021 NFL season has been Kyle Shanahan and not Jimmy Garoppolo. It's been Kyle Shanahan who's been the underperformer and not Jimmy Garoppolo.
Interesting way of putting it. I don't think he's wrong. There's something to be said for this offense not looking as good. My counter to that would be, the guy that you squeezed you for a couple extra $1 million, and Raheem Mostert, who was going to be your number one, got hurt immediately.
Yeah, 2 carries.
All right, and then your entire secondary is completely battered. Your offense, the line looked good for a game, and it's got manhandled the last couple of games. I don't know. I don't know how much of it is on Shanahan right now. I don't know.
267 on our text line. I think the weak plays Kyle is calling is making Jimmy mess up, thinking he isn't good enough in Kyle's eyes.
Didn't them drafting someone make him think that? Maybe flirting with someone else named Kirk Cousins the week of the Super Bowl?
The last 3 years.
Come on.
The week of the Super Bowl. I can't get over Shanahan in my something about Super Bowls and pressers during the week of the Super Bowl has destroyed the Niners the last 2 times out. Randy Moss, Chris Culliver, Harbaugh being uptight, and then Shanahan just openly saying, yeah, Kirk Cousins is going to be our guy. That's why I passed up on Watson and Mahomes.
So the caller before had asked about, which of the first-year quarterbacks would Shanahan play? And I thought he meant the last couple of drafts. So the last 2 years of drafts. Joe Burrow, I think, is a really good example of something of he's not a like for like, because there's really nobody like Trey Lance. No one has been drafted as high as Trey Lance with the limited amount of starts that Trey Lance has had in the history of the NFL. It's kind of crazy. It's such a unicorn situation. But doesn't Joe Burrow have a lot of similarities in terms of lack of play to Trey Lance? Like, skyrocket prospect out of nowhere, had to transfer schools, even though, he transfers from Ohio State to LSU.
Right.
We're not like this guy went from, North Dakota State.
This guy was at Ohio State,
he was an Ohio State, guys. But you get what I'm saying? Like,
Typically, Dwayne Haskins
kind of came out of nowhere, right? His last 2 seasons, the last year he popped, maybe the greatest college football season of all time.
Unbelievable.
But everybody agrees, this guy just needs to play. Joe Burrow needs the reps. He needs to play. And now, a year in, even though he's got the shaky knee, you're sitting there and you're like, you can see it. Even if they lose games, Cincinnati's feeling real good.
They might be 3-1 this Thursday. They play Jacksonville.
Right?
Jamar Chase.
They
got
dismantled
weapons.
Pittsburgh.
They did. They beat them down.
Jamar Chase and him have something special that they're building right now. And I get it. It's very different because the Niners and where they're at in their life cycle is different from where Cincinnati is. Cincinnati drafted number 1 overall.
Started from the bottom.
For a reason.
Yep.
But I think that 49er fans also need to realize you've drafted in the top 5 2 of the last 3 years. Now, one of them you traded up, but you were going to be the 12th pick. All right? Let's call it what it is. You were going to be the 12th pick. The outlier is you go into the Super Bowl. You've been a bottom 5 team in the draft more years than you've been some Super Bowl contender.
And you took McGlinchey, number 10 overall?
Which has been one of my big things. The Super Bowl roster. You're not. You're not a Super Bowl roster. So on this show, throw the Super Bowl roster out the window. Could you be a 500 or over team? That's really what we're talking about.
Really, we're back to that.
We are.
I can't subscribe to that.
Why?
Because everybody.
It's the toughest division in football.
You, Shasky, everybody. This team is built to win. You, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Everybody. Not everybody. Let me stop. Let me slow down. But I don't subscribe to, you know what? Let's just get to 500 and play. What?
No.
What? You got possibly one of the best tight ends in football. I'm not going to say the best because Kelsey and Waller right now are 1-2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
They're 1-2.
Okay.
But Kittle's in the top 5 when it comes to tight ends. Bosa, all right? One of the best defensive ends in all of football.
He missed the whole year last year.
Okay, I don't care. He's back.
He is.
And he's had an impact so far. Fred Warner Jr.
He's a superstar.
Superstar.
I love him.
Secondary, Jimmy Ward's Hart. Not bad. Not bad. All right, you got young budding wide receivers in Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. There's no excuses for this team not to be in the playoffs.
So on the Deebo Ayuk thing, I like both those players a lot. If we were ranking of all the players, Deebo's in his 3rd year, if we were ranking all the wide receivers in the league right now, 3 years or younger, I don't know if Deebo and Ayuk are in the top 10.
Wow.
And that's not an indictment. B, there's just so much talent at the position. Wow. DK, right?
Right.
Jamar Chase is in 3 games looks like he is about to be bona fide.
T. Higgins, same team.
That guy was second or third rounder?
CeeDee Lamb.
Lamb looks ridiculous.
Justin Jefferson
is ridiculous.
Michael Pittman Jr.
Michael Van Jefferson is better than Ayuk right now.
Wow, that's sad.
Am I wrong?
That's
though?
sad. That is sad.
I'm not. It's
That
not
is
sad.
sad.
The position is loaded. Like everyone has 2 and 3 receivers right
It's not
now.
good then. Then we need to get on Kyle Shanahan then.
No,
instead of being on Jimmy Garoppolo, because you know what? Who's picking the ingredients? Who's shopping for the groceries?
I just think quarterback means so
Who's shopping?
much.
Shanahan is sending John Lynch and Adam Peters to go shop for his groceries. This is on Kyle Shanahan. You're telling me this is on Kyle Shanahan.
It is in part on Kyle Shanahan. When you lose, it is on part of you when you have full control of the organization. But I also think it's a functionality of being limited at quarterback. Because, look, are you unlocking T. Higgins and Jamar Chase without Joe Burrow? Because they didn't last year when Jamar was on the team. But when Joe Burrow went down, that team was done.
Done.
Okay? If Herbert doesn't, look, you saw what Phillip Rivers did with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Yeah, they threw for yards, but they didn't do what Herbert's doing.
Look, we got to get back out to the lines with this text from the 510. When Jimmy Garoppolo leaves the Niners, he will have more success than Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is a failure. If he doesn't win the Super Bowl in the next 2 seasons, including this season, Shanahan is a failure.
I think I'm taking Shanahan. I'm taking Shanahan over Jimmy G because where's Jimmy going to go? There's not a lot of winning situations.
There'll be some jobs open for him. Antonio in Oakland. Antonio, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, when I think Trey Lance will start, it's probably going to be after the bye week against the Colts on prime time. It'll be similar to when Kaepernick made his first start on prime time against the Bears. It's going to be like that. That's not what I would do, but that's what I think Shanahan would do. I mean, it's hard to play quarterback. You know, I don't want Trey Lance behind his offensive line right now. You saw what happened to Justin Fields. He got sacked 9 times. 50 Cent got shot 9 times. Justin Fields got sacked 9 times. Go figure. But, hey, man, I think we're going to have a winning record, and we're going to trade for Marlon Mack.
The more I've thought about Mack.
Wait. Can you repeat that, Antonio? Marlon Mack. What was that?
Marlon Mack. Go back. I don't know. But we're going to trade for him. That's what I think. We're one of the teams interested in him right now. So we're going to make a move for a running back. We'll get Jeff Wilson back. It's going to be all to the good.
Good effort. Good try, Antonio, with that last one. Marlon Mack. We going back. I don't even know what that means. I love Antonio, man. We going back. Where are we going back to? You ain't going back to the Super Bowl. Marlon Mack. Let's go to Aaron in Oakland, man. Antonio's great. Aaron, what's happening, man? You're on the roast.
Hey, let me tell you exactly why you don't start Trey Lance.
Okay.
And I love that you use the shopping list as a metaphor. Look, man, a Super Bowl win is a gumbo recipe that just melts in your mouth. The Niners don't have that. Let me remind you of a little rookie that started by the name of RG3 that was always out there having to make things happen with a halfway line, no real run game. And he ended up hurt because he was constantly on the move. You start Trey Lance, the only person out there protecting him is Trent Williams. There are too many pieces missing for a Super Bowl win. So why? Okay, I get Jimmy's in a holding pattern till he lands wherever, but you've already said Jimmy's not your guy. Don't be mad if Jimmy doesn't go out there and get it done. You know, he's in a holding pattern. That's why you're getting rid of him. But you start Trey, you're putting him in a situation for failure, and you're going to get him to rely more on his legs, and he's going to be always trying to make something happen. You want Trey Lance to be a pocket passer with the option to run that frees his defense, which will open his pass game. It's a simple thing. And I'm coming down on the side of the dude who was talking common sense. This is on Shanahan. The entire league, you guys asked this 2-3 days ago, the entire league knows what Shanahan's going to do. LaFleur knew what Shanahan's going to do. They run the same offense, and he went, I know how to stop what I do. It's real easy. And Shanahan, he's not going to have more success. If he doesn't start getting some wins, he's going to go down in flames. Is he good? Does he know his stuff? Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator. We need a strong, I hope Buster Screens in that slot cover does something, but they need a brain back there on that secondary, and we need a big Now, look, Ayuk is great. Debo is great. They're killing it, but you need a big, strong receiver. And I'm not saying you can get him, but a guy like Adams, and I said this before, Bolden, maybe you're looking for a Terrell Owens, big muscular guy out there that can get it done. You need that.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Aaron. You do need that. He tried to invest
a Clay
in
Chase pool.
Yeah, he tried to invest in Jalen Hurd. He went down the Jalen Hurd rabbit hole. He's back on IL. Jalen Hurd's never played a regular
That's what Mohamed Sanu is, Bonte.
Oh, my gosh.
He's a big-bodied guy.
This is why I wanted Julio.
Well, I mean,
this is why I wanted Julio. That's what I wanted Julio.
But they didn't have the money because they kept Jimmy. Well, I mean, there's a financial ramification here.
Well, you know what? If you don't like Jimmy, this is what I've been saying for the last 3 years. If Jimmy Garoppolo is not your guy at quarterback, and you're Kyle Shanahan, who basically has the final say-so in a lot of these, damn near every move, right? Especially the quarterback position. Go with Trey. Go with your guy. I'm tired. Listen, I am tired of hearing Jimmy G's not Kyle Shanahan's guy. Kyle Shanahan can't do what Kyle Shanahan wants to do because of Jimmy G. Well, if you can't do what you want to do, then get rid of the guy who is limiting you. Like seriously, I'm so over the whole we're protecting Shanahan like he's won 5 championships. We protect Shanahan like he's on the level with Bill Belichick and all these other coaches. We got to stop that.
No.
We got to stop that.
You're going all the way to the other end of the room. No. Let's meet in the middle here. Just hear me out. Meet in the middle. We are protecting him because we saw Tom Sula and Chip Kelly, and it was ugly and horrible, and we wandered the desert. And now we have a little bit of success, and we like the guy. You know why? Because he dresses fly, and he dials up some pretty sweet plays, and he's got odes to the past. Okay. Now, is he one of the best coaches in the league right now? I don't know. But you could do a hell of a lot worse than Kyle Shanahan. And given where we were just 4 years ago, after going through 4 straight coaches and all the bulky crap, I'll live with Shanahan and on this top-end roster.
For how long?
I don't know. They got to get the Trey thing right. And here's the other thing I want to ask you about offensive line play. It's a chicken and the egg conversation we have all the time. Was Tampa Bay a great offensive line before Tom Brady showed up?
No, they weren't. But they also drafted Tristan Wirfs.
Okay.
And they got some guys back. I don't remember.
Jansen came back and Mark Beck came back.
Exactly.
But they were there the year before, but they got banged up.
That helps. That helps.
So, but he helps elevate that play. Now, we can't name one player on the Chargers offensive line. Most common fans cannot name one player. We just know Herbert makes plays.
They signed an old boy from Green Bay, right? They got a guy from Green Bay.
Yeah, and I think he was hurt too. Yep. Obviously, Jamar Chase and Burrows, I've talked about it at length this morning. Now, Burrows got hurt in the pocket because of their lack of offensive line. So he got crushed. He came back. He still don't have an offensive line. In fact, they passed on Penei Sewell to get a playmaking wide receiver when they already had playmaking wide receivers in Boyd and in the guy that you referenced, T. Higgins. And yet, he's out there dominating. We've seen, obviously, what happened with Dak Prescott going into a great offensive line situation with a great running game, and he wins the division. Would they go 13-3 that year? Now, right now, Dak is balling. And they don't have their left tackle, who basically did some wild stuff that we haven't even talked about on this show. They don't have their left tackle, and he is balling. I'm asking you, chicken and the egg, offensive line, quarterback, offensive line. Can I make an argument? Everybody struggles is because of the offensive line, and every rookie shouldn't play because of the offensive line. At some point, don't you got to kind of realize, like, you got to overcome some of these flaws?
You do, but
both
these
sides,
rookie
Jimmy and
quarterbacks, Justin Fields, you see that offensive line play? You see that offensive line play in Chicago?
I think the second most sacks a rookie's ever taken, outside of Greg McElroy's 11.
He's going to get destroyed. He's going to end up like Troy Aikman his rookie year with the Dallas Cowboys, 1-15. He's going to look. It may ruin him if you continue to play Justin Fields behind that offensive line. You do. There's a balance here.
I agree. There's a balance.
Certain quarterbacks elevate offensive line play. The great ones do. Tom Brady's great. Aaron Rodgers is great. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes is great. But even Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl could not overcome that putrid offensive line.
So, but you can't say that, and I'm not saying you do this, PFF, look at the O-line's rating, top 4 in the NFL, and then say on the very next sentence, can't play Trey Lance. So, like, at some point, we're never going to have optimal settings. This isn't fairyland. Everyone's like, Mahomes, sit a year, step into Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and Andy Reid and a great O-line, and everything will be perfect. That was a unicorn situation. Most NFL situations have some adversity that you need to overcome, whether it's Tom Brady at New England.
And Jimmy overcame it on Sunday.
He did.
They had a lead.
He did, and some of it was because of his own making.
But was their running game able to overcome the offensive line play?
No.
That's the staple of the Shanahan offense. He loves to run the football.
Who can help the run game more, Trey or Jimmy?
Getting a running back who can run the rock. Getting a running back who can run the rock.
I'm with you there, but that's not going to happen. I'm looking at what we have on this roster.
You don't have a running back right now. You're going to have to air that baby out.
You got to use the personnel you have.
You're going to have to pass the ball a little bit more with this offense. You got weapons. You got weapons, right? Brandon Ayuk. You got Deebo Samuel, and you have George Kittle.
George needs to be running routes. That's what he needs to be doing.
Let's go to Matt and Samerville.
Throw him the ball.
Matt and Samerville. What's happening?
Guys, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Okay, first off, Jimmy didn't overcome anything. Okay, that was on Jimmy. It should never have been that close. What I'm calling about is what you said about Deebo and Ayuk not being top 10. Look at what Deebo and Ayuk are with dink and dunk Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback.
I'm with you.
Those guys don't know that if they had a quarterback like Trey Lance or even somebody more serviceable, like if we go back to a guy like Alex Smith, those guys are premier receivers, and they know it. And the clock's ticking because receivers have short careers. They're built on speed. So if you don't get Trey in there and these guys don't start getting credit and making the stats that they need to make their money in their career, those contracts are up, they'll look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Those guys have been loyal, and they're playing hard, and they're getting screwed because they got a quarterback they're the yak bros because they have to be. Because they can't get the ball downfield. We don't even know what they can do.
I'm with you.
They're playing with a Pop Warner quarterback.
All right, we'll get them out of there.
No, that's a great point.
You know what I'm saying?
If both of these players were in Green Bay, and Rodgers is going to do this with a lot of guys. That Scantlin's probably not even in the league if he doesn't play with Rodgers. If Deebo was with Rodgers, oh my God. If Ayuk was with Rodgers, oh my God. If Ayuk or Deebo was with Russ or Kyler, oh my God. But they're not, and that's why I feel like we're leaving a lot on the table. As prospects, love them.
We'll get them out of there. Then
impact. They're not even scratching the surface.
Chasky? Then if that's the case, if you say that, Kyle Shanahan is smarter than both of everybody in this building combined when it comes to knowing football.
Hey, we're at an inflection point right now. I feel like right now is this, and this week coming up, and the week after that is the inflection point for making a change.
You should have made the change right after training camp.
You had to let it play out. I can understand what their thought process was. You had to let this guy play himself out of favor because you don't want to lose everyone day one. Like, I get that.
Sam and Hercules. What's happening, Sam?
Hey, what's up, guys? I had called last week, too, with the headline, Who Let the Dogs Out, and predicted Ayuk and Sherman were going to be an impact, and they both got touchdowns. Man, I should have put money on the bet.
Yeah, but they didn't win the game, though, Sam. Sermon, yeah.
But you know what? I'll give you the Ayuk. All right, I'll give you the Ayuk. You're not in Alcatraz.
And even in, Ayuk only got 4 targets.
He looked good, though.
He did. He only got 4 targets.
But that's how restricted this offense is, Bonte. 4 catches, and it's like, he's like freedom.
It's
he's
not
like
even
screaming
freedom.
like Andy Dufresne at the end of Shawshank Redemption.
You are listening to 95.7 Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. You did not get the nod of approval from Stephen Langford there, our great board up here at 95.7 Game on a roast.
I was hoping he'd go with more of the Braveheart reference because, Andy Dufresne doesn't really scream freedom at the end.
He doesn't. He actually cries.
He cries.
And he reads the letter.
He doesn't scream it.
Have you seen Shawshank?
Braveheart. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
100% no.
Been a long time.
Who are the 2 main actors in there?
I don't remember. I fell asleep. When did that movie come out? 94, 93?
Oh, my God. Can you name the main actors in that movie?
Shawshank Redemption?
Just give me one.
Bruce Willis?
Oh, dear.
Mel Gibson?
Oh, dear God.
Shawshank Redemption?
How about your boy?
Morgan Freeman?
Your boy who was in Lion King, even though he wasn't.
Oh, Morgan Freeman. Shawshank Redemption. I said Morgan Freeman.
No, you didn't.
I did. That was the third guy I said. I knew it was a black guy. I was trying to get the white guy. Who's the white guy? Who's the main actor?
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, there you go. Andy Dufresne. Whatever. Jay in the Bay. I want to get to the Sherman sound in just a second here. Richard Sherman signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He said the Niners were close. I wonder if Niner fans would have welcomed Richard Sherman back, given what the cornerback situations look like right now down in Santa Clara. Jay in the Bay, what's happening?
Hey, why are we talking about Jimmy G again when it was the secondary that lost the game for us? Why are we even on the quarterbacks?
Because the quarterback scored 0 points until the backup quarterback came in and ran one in.
He scored on 2 drives, and he got us up a point. It's the defense, the secondary that lost the game, not Jimmy G. Have some respect for the dude, man.
Oh, we have plenty of respect. $25 million worth of respect every year. Like, come on, man. You don't think Jimmy has left a little to be desired?
You know what? You're not going to be around too long, idiot. You're no good.
Oh. You're not the first person to say that to me.
Damn.
Save that. I like that.
Oh, man.
He's clearly a fan.
Oh, man. Tay in SF. Is this my cousin? Who's Tay? What's up? You're on the roast.
Yeah, hey. What's up, Monte? This is Tay out of San Francisco.
What's up?
The last caller said Jimmy was a Pop Warner quarterback, but he went to the Super Bowl. And Joe always saying that the 49ers don't trust Jimmy. So do they trust Trey because they haven't played him yet?
You know, that's a great question. I don't think they trust Trey yet. I also don't think they trust Jimmy. And Super Bowl 54 proved that.
Yeah,
Proved that to me.
You ever played Uno, Bonte?
Of course.
You know,
Best
you got like
Uno
a draw
player
four,
around. Yeah,
right?
Uno.
You got a draw four in your back pocket. Do you use the draw four right out the rip?
No, you got to save it for the right time.
Exactly, and that's what Trey is. He's that card you're going to lay down as a draw four.
Well, don't you want to lay that card down now? Because we talked about this 3-game stretch. Green Bay, Seattle,
I'm with you.
Arizona going into the bye week.
I'm with you.
It's a big game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, do you realize how large this game is Sunday at Levi Stadium?
Oh.
The Seahawks are coming in at 1-2. 1-2 Seattle.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. This is going to be a
You know that they've
fight,
never
man.
lost 3 in a row during Russ' era?
Wow.
And the Niners have never lost 2 home games in a row?
Under Shanahan?
Yeah. Or no, under Jimmy, I believe.
Under Jimmy?
I think it's under Jimmy with Jimmy at quarterback.
Wow.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. I'm looking at the Chargers offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Rashawn Slater, the first-round pick out of Northwestern. Not bad.
Yeah, but you couldn't name it off the top of your head.
No, I forgot that. I'm not paying attention to the Chargers. Got a lot going on here. A lot going on. Damn, Chargers play the Raiders Monday night. It's going to be a fun game.
I know. You going to do King of the Hill?
Yeah, we'll do it at 9:30.
Okay.
We'll do it at 9:30. We got something cooking.
You're like Shanahan here. You just keep pushing the unveiling of Trey Lance down the road.
I mean, Shanahan's got to get it. This is on Shanahan. This ain't on Jimmy. I'm not blaming Jimmy for anything. Bonte Hill, am not blaming Jimmy Garoppolo for anything with the 49ers. Wins, losses, I'm not blaming
Nothing,
Jimmy.
huh?
I'm not blaming him. It's on Shanahan. You know you have a flawed quarterback. It's on you. Make the move, buddy. Make your move like Bobby Bonilla told that young press writer in New York City. Make your move.
Well, it's not blame. It's assessing what's going on. That's what I look at it.
It's Shanahan. It's Shanahan. And people are scared to blame Shanahan or point the finger at Shanahan because he walks on water around here. I get it. He walks on water around. You got beat up with Chip Kelly. You got beat up with Jim Tomsula. You got beat up with Trent Baalke. So you're just looking for something to glom onto. You're like, oh, Shanahan, he's got slick back hair, young hotshot coach, great offensive mind. His daddy's Mike. He won 2 Super Bowls. Oh, yada, yada, yada. I get it. You're in denial. I get it.
He also gave us one of the great singular seasons in the last 25 years.
He gave us?
Well, he's at the head
Robert
of the team.
Saleh and that defense give us a great season.
He's at the head of that.
Did the defense have a historical year?
Well, and the offense was a top offense, scoring and yardage-wise.
So why don't Jimmy get love for that?
No, he does. Everyone gets love, and everyone
Jimmy don't get no love
gets
for
criticism, too.
I don't know about that. Let's hear from Richard Sherman, who signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this morning. Uncle Sherb. Remember that guy? Here's Uncle Sherb.
There's been great interest from the San Francisco 49ers, a team that, he had a great relationship. John and Kyle run a great ship. But obviously they've made some moves at cornerback with Josh Norman and Drake Kirkpatrick. And they got a rookie playing extremely well. Emmanuel Mosley's playing well. They got KK in the slot. We got a little banged up, but they're all doing a great job. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady reached out, and that was a tremendous opportunity for him. It's the all-time great quarterback reaching out, and anytime he makes that call, it's a very difficult opportunity to pass up. The Carolina Panthers were interested, and they had brief conversations, but then they made a trade for a young cornerback, which is a fantastic move by them. There was early interest by the Seattle Seahawks. Everything has been kind of wiry this offseason. But I finally, had enough conversations and came to a decision that I'm going to go play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Woo! Woo! All the craziness and then all the hate and then all the tweets and then everybody's mad because I didn't go to their team. I'm sorry. I went with the best offer I had, the best opportunity to go out there and put some great tape on, to lead another group. I feel comfortable and confident in my abilities to go out there and execute and help that team win. Obviously, I have a ton of love for the faithful and the 49er fans and the 49ers front office and that team. You know, a lot of friends and a lot of guys I'm still rooting for and cheering for throughout the season. Obviously, still got a lot of friends with the Seattle Seahawks. But this was an opportunity I couldn't pass up, and I weighed all the options with my wife and my family, and this is what we came up with.
Uncle Sherm.
About 9 sentences too many.
Heading down to Tampa, Florida.
I'm going to ask a simple question. When Tom Brady calls, do you answer?
Hell yeah.
Right?
I do.
So if you're the 49ers and Tom Brady called you in the offseason, don't you answer?
So what do you think happened with that? Tom Brady and the 49ers.
I think
was
that they
it Shanahan? Was it Lynch? Because Shanahan, again, has final say with everything with the 49ers. I just want to make sure we all know that. We all know that. And I like Shanahan. I don't want to come off that I'm running.
Do you?
I like Shanahan a lot.
Though?
I really like Shanahan.
What part?
I love everything about him. The way he lies to us at the podium. I love the way he schemes up and tells people we're hard-headed.
Is this Disney with Dad? Because Pinocchio over there in that seat, his nose is growing.
I like Shanahan. I do like Shanahan. I'm a Shanahan guy.
Maybe, probably, but maybe not.
But somebody's got to get his guy criticism. Somebody's got to call this guy out. You guys just let Shanahan get away.
Everything about him.
This is the same market that gets on Steve Kerr for winning 3 championships. Guy won 3 championships, and Steve Kerr can't do this, can't do that. Oh, yeah, win 3. I get it. You need great players in the NBA to win championships.
Kerr gets
but there is something about massaging egos like that in the locker room and managing egos. Phil Jackson doesn't get enough credit for that.
I agree.
Doesn't get enough credit for that. So
yeah, I'm taking Philip over Popovich.
Right.
No one else is. All the insider people. I'm taking Popovich. And yeah, I know he won in a variety of ways. Yeah, give me Philip all day.
Give me the Zen Master.
Absolutely.
Please give me the Zen Master.
And I'm going to work the referees between game 3, 4, and 5 to get all the whistles.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at you, Sacramento.
Give me that. All right? But Shanahan, I'm saying. Shanahan, what's up, man?
What's your favorite part of Shanahan?
Oh, that's a great question. This is a great question. Sometimes he's too truthful.
Okay.
And then sometimes he's just smug and he's short with people, and then you got to draw things out of him.
You don't want to get me started, dude.
You don't even want to get me started, dude. Like when Cam Inman, our 95.7 Cam Insider. Cam Inman comes to Niners for a long time. Asked him, so is Brandon Ayuk, what's going on with him? Oh, yeah, he had a good practice. And he looked at Cam Inman straight up like, yeah, he had a good practice. So what does that mean? Is he going to play more? Well, we'll see about that, and yada, yada, yada. Like, he's just something about Shanahan and the swag, the arrogance. I'm not going to lie. We're at Trinity Camp. And we saw that guy come out that facility.
Oh, yeah.
And he walked on the field. It's the last one to walk on the field.
It was like you walking into media day for the Golden State Warriors.
Not quite like that.
Now I know why you like him so much.
No. And Shasky goes,
I'm here.
Shasky goes, when he sees Shanahan, look at the swag and the arrogance on this guy.
Oh, yeah, he had a strut.
He had a strut.
Only Raj Mathai has walked to the center of a field the way Kyle Shanahan has.
I knew you were going to say that. So if Shanahan is a final decision maker, I knew you were going to say that. Dude, there is a strut. Dude, Raj Mathai, and I love him, man.
When he has the suit and he used to do sports, he would strut across the Candlestick Park field, and I swear to God, I know he's going, look at that walk, dude.
Look at that walk.
Damn, he's going to be somebody someday.
Shanahan's got that same walk. Shanahan's got that same ball, and the hair was slicked back, full of gel.
Perfecto.
And when Trey Lance made some throws, he was in that huddle smiling ear to ear. And then when Jimmy threw a lollipop interception in practice, Shanahan was looking at him like this, like, dude, what are you doing? What is going on?
The one thing I want from Shanahan, I want a glimpse into his closet. I want to see all the fits that he's got. Does he have all the hats laid out? Like, he strikes me as someone, like, the Dr. Dre Day video, or I think it was nothing but a G thing, where, like, he opens it up. Maybe it was Dre Day. I'm not sure. He opens up the closet, and it's all black Ben Davis zip-ups.
Yep.
And
Ben
Dickie
Davis.
pants and stuff. Yeah. Like, that is what I imagine. All the different fits, all the flat brim hats in the world, all the white vapor pullover Nike, cut sleeve windbreakers.
Dude,
he's probably got fits.
Shanahan just needs to pull the plug. Jimmy, if you can't trust Jimmy to run your playbook, pull the plug and give the playbook to the guy you drafted and moved 3 first-round draft picks for. All right? The guy you were diagramming plays on the iPad for, just play him. If Jimmy's not your guy, just play him. And I'm not saying Vince Jimmy Garoppolo, because a lot of words, what we say on this show, gets taken out of context. if Jimmy's not your guy, move on. And I've been saying that for 2.5, 3 years now. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Peter King on with DRK yesterday. We played some of that sound. That was one of the best moments on the game on a Tuesday afternoon. Powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy slip and slide. Privacy simplified.
Slip and slide?
Privacy simplified.
What the hell was that,
I don't know,
Yang?
because I was about to say King and Hill coming up next, but let's just go to break. Screw that.
You know what? You're not going to be around too long, idiot. You're no good.
Trent Williams joins Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky today at with Bonte and Shasky.
Posy in P-Town. What's up, Posy?
Not Mozzie.
Posy, not Mozzie. Posy. Says, I'm jealous that you guys have haters. I wish I had more haters in my life. Trust me, Posy. You don't want haters. I want everybody.
You're not going to be around too long, idiot. You're no good.
I want people to like me. I want them to like me. All right? You want haters, Shasky?
Well, there is an argument. No, I don't want haters, but there is an argument to be made that, like, if you have haters, that means you're succeeding in life.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
In this case, I'm not succeeding in life, and I still have haters. So, no, don't think I want them. But, before we went to break, we were talking about Kyle Shanahan, and we're going to do King of the Hill in 12 minutes. All right, we keep teasing it. We're going to do it at some point.
Curly lost last week's rankings.
That's okay. No one cares about last week's rankings. It's all about this week. It's week-to-week League B. Just throw it out the window.
Yeah, all right. Cool.
But, we talk about producing the show. And, for example, today we were going to do King of the Hill at 8:30. We were going to do it at 9. Now we pushed it back to 9:30. So what would it be like if Kyle Shanahan was, producing the show and we did a press conference where he's one of our producers and we were peppering him with questions about where we were going to fit certain topics into? And I think it would sound a little something like this.
Well, we went with 9:30 this week because we felt like it was going to give us the best chance to win. At 7:15, we were going to do it, but we felt like the callers were getting going. We would have done it at 7:45, but we didn't want to do it then because we felt like we were having a good conversation on fan attendance. Then we wanted to push it to 8:30, but then also we were getting calls on Trey Lance versus Jimmy Garoppolo. By the way, I really want to start Trey Lance, and I'm just not going to admit it yet. And then we decided to move to 9:30, and we feel like it's going to give us the best chance to win. Is it going to be the same next week? I can't tell you. Maybe, probably, maybe not, but we'll try and figure it out by the time next week comes around.
Oh my God, that was so good. Do you think Bonte Hill likes you?
No wonder he runs out of breath during these press conferences. Dude, he says so much in so little time. He fits as many words as he can in between each breath. But that's what it felt like when we were playing at King of the Hill.
I'm telling you right now, Langford, that was incredible. That's the thing. The beauty of live radio. Some people perform when the lights are on, and some don't. Man. Langford, you perform.
Langford performs.
I love you.
I got to be at the podium. I got the two hands down. You always got to get the two hands down. And
two hands down. That's right.
Everything Shanahan says.
Right.
Everything Shanahan says. It's gonna give him the best chance to win, no matter what he's talking about in life.
And what is going through his head when he's giving you the eye-to-eye contact? Because that's the best thing. He has the two hands, Langford, and he's giving the writers an eye-to-eye contact. And sometimes, like somebody asked him, is the Greenbrier, is it nice? Does that help you guys practice better or whatnot? And he looked at it. I forgot who asked the question. He goes, well, doesn't matter if it's nice or whatever. It's just the practice fields are right here. It is really accessible, and it helps us. Doesn't matter if it's nice or not. We don't really care about that. And he just turns his head to the next writer. Like he is, oh, man, Shanahan. He's a treasure, man. He's a treasure.
It's a good thing you love him.
I do love him. It's a love-hate relationship, man. I love Shanny. He's just, come on, you got to call him out sometimes, though, man. He's getting the pass out here. Don't tell me how great he's going to be in the next 5 years. Come on, this is year 5. One playoff appearance. It's the 49ers for crying out loud. We're okay. Now we're just, just get over 500, and we're cool. Like, what? What are we doing here? The fact that he's got a lifetime contract with the 49ers. You don't see these type of contracts in professional sports, right? He signed a 6-year extension after his first winning season. And we see coaches fired left and right. Tom was an exception in Pittsburgh.
Gruden.
Jason Garrett was an exception in Dallas. Gruden. But, man, Gruden, hey, they're 3-0.
Well, you got to give it time. If you would have judged him after a couple of years, you'd be critical, like rightfully. And now it seems like the master plan is coming to fruition.
Whew. Let's go to Jan. Jan in Mountain View. What's up, Jan?
Yes. One thing that I had on my mind was if you were to say right now Garoppolo's in there and you want to replace him with Lance, that's great. But my concern is Shanahan because he never seems to make adjustments. In the second half. Maybe even in the second quarter, and these other teams are picking up on it. Do you think that would even change if Lance becomes the quarterback permanently? That's the question.
Jan, I'm not going to lie to you, Jan. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
But it was a funnier call.
Yeah. We just were distracted by the dial tone. We were trying to see how many times you're going to push the dial tone. I was hoping you gave me 2 more times. It's a great question, Jan. What's your answer to that, Shasky?
What was the question? I was laughing so hard during it. Like, it's something about Shanahan, if they're going to reduce some of the mistakes and whatnot, if Trey Lance goes in there.
I don't want to be disrespectful to Jan.
No.
Because I do appreciate the call.
But the time, it was like my dad calling me when he gets angry and his thumb is on the 4 button, and he's like, I can't hear anything.
What you say. So if you could replay the call for us or just like listen to
summarize it?
Summarize it for us. Maybe you were listening. Curly, were you listening to the – I'm sorry, Jan. I really am sorry because it was a great question.
It is.
Nobody.
No. We're going to go with the head coach that gives us the best chance to win. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Pete Carroll. Maybe it's Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know. Any of these other quarterback or head coaches in the NFC West, they give us the best chance to win. Is it going to be Lance or Jimmy? Jimmy or Lance? I don't know. We'll see next week.
Dude, 707, beep. Somebody on the text line Twitch, brought to you by Xfinity. Thanks for hanging in with us. Could somebody tell us what the question was?
I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, no, you weren't the only one.
Sorry, Jan. Call back.
Oh, Dave Johnson, can you trust Kyle with Trey Lance?
Oh, so now this is a good question.
That's a great question, Jan.
So let's go through this. Matt Ryan was better in year 2 than he was in year 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
RG3 was better in year 1 than he was in year 2.
Correct.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I guess technically it was full year 1. Like, how
Right.
are we breaking that down? Because he came in 2017, and he was good.
5 games.
Okay.
Then he got hurt in week 3, and he wasn't good in those first 3 games. He was not good.
And then what about in 2019?
He struggled early on, but he had a very good season.
Oh, so he's like the Ryder Cup. It skips a year. So this is the year that's supposed to be really good.
I
but,
guess
is
so.
Jimmy Garoppolo a better football player today than he was in 2017?
I don't believe so.
Okay, what about today than 2019?
I don't believe so.
Really?
I don't believe he's a better quarterback than 2019. I haven't seen it. I don't see a guy who's confident in driving a football down the field.
So
Somebody just tweeted at me, was like, yo, are you guys going to comment on all the hospital balls he threw on Sunday? And hospital balls meaning like big, wobbly passes you throw, where it's just like taking so long to get there because they're so heavy. And it looks like the ball is heavy at times when Jimmy throws it. I don't think he's a better quarterback than he was in 2019. In decision-making, taking the check downs when he needs to. I see a quarterback who's very indecisive right now.
Okay, so then saying that, is that on Jimmy the individual? Is that on Kyle Shanahan? Is there something in between? And do you trust now, knowing that information? Like, I feel like you have to trust Kyle Shanahan.
You better trust
because
him.
of the unknown.
Well,
and he's never really had an opportunity to sculpt someone from scratch, like the way this one. Because the RG3 thing, which everyone brings up, him and his dad did not want RG3.
No, they didn't.
The owner, Dan Snyder, wanted RG3.
Yep.
They were so scared of the RG3 pick in general that they sat in a room for 4 weeks, him and his staff. McVay was part of that staff. So was Zach, whatever his name is, from Cincinnati, and the LaFleurs. And they went through all the Baylor tape and tried to find wrinkles that they could incorporate at the NFL level, which is why it was so unique seeing RG3 pop. But they didn't want him. And they drafted Kirk Cousins late as an insurance policy because he was the guy that they really, really liked coming out of that draft. This was really the first time they've had carte blanche to pick who they want at quarterback. So this, to me, is the litmus test. Fair or not?
No, that is fair. And if he doesn't develop, we have to trust Kyle Shanahan in developing Trey, because if he doesn't develop Trey, well, guess what? Trey won't be on the 49ers.
They're gone.
Shanahan won't be here in San Francisco.
Trey will be here. No, Trey will be here, I think, and they'll give another coach a chance.
Shanahan and Lynch will be gone.
How many? So if Trey starts this year, let's say he gets half the season, you give him a full next year, and then what?
You got to give him the next season to see where he's at.
I'm just playing this out.
Yeah,
because doesn't it feel like Miami is already ready to move off of Tua?
Yeah, after this season, Shanahan's got at least 2 years in the bank.
You think?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Unless they just bottom out and it's like bad. And when I say bad, I'm talking 3-14. I'm talking 4-13. I'm talking 5-12.
Falls out.
It just falls out, and you lose the locker room. But he's got 2 years after this, Shanahan, at least.
So knowing that, that's why I kept saying to you that, like, the Super Bowl roster, like, I get all that, but, like, I just didn't think the team was Super Bowl roster-esque.
Right.
Like, the 2019 team seems so far away.
Yeah.
It seems so far away.
It is so far away. And also, Jan Jan talked about Kyle's lack of halftime adjustments.
That is a real thing.
That is a real thing.
So you have a number that you always say about Kyle's never been able to come back from?
A situation in which he's down, a deficit when he's down 14 points or more. Could have been 10 points or more. Because we saw this. We saw this on Monday Night Football last year against the Bills. I was in the hospital with baby Ches watching that Monday Night Football game. And they were like, when Shanahan's down 10 in the second half, his teams don't come back, at least as of yet. They almost came back Sunday. That would have been the first. That would have been the first win, down 10 points or more in the second half.
Let's do King of the Hill because I want to get back into some Giants talk about the 103 wins today, how incredible this season has been.
First, before we do that,
some attendance talk.
Let's go to Austin and SF real quick.
Hey, Austin.
Austin. What's up, man? You're in the city.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Oh, I can't complain.
Man, okay, that's what's up, man. You know what, man? I'm taking this blame on Shanahan. He's supposed to be one of the best offensive coordinators. This man ain't opened up the playbook yet. As far as I'm concerned, our fullback has been our best receiver, better than Kittle. And then we pick up this, what's his name, Jacquees Patrick guy, the running back, and we're going to start Trey Sherman after an injury. I'm questioning his play calling right now. That's all I got to say.
I hear you, Austin. Play calling. We're going to see it. We're going to ramp up tomorrow with Seattle week. Russell Wilson's coming to town. And Shasky just told you all, Russell Wilson hasn't lost 3 in a row.
Ever.
Shanahan has never lost 2 home games in our Jimmy G.
What's he, 14-4 versus the Niners overall?
I don't even want to go there. We'll get to that tomorrow.
14-4. And Mullen's got one of them dubs.
How many did Jimmy get?
1.
A big one.
Yeah.
A big one.
Yeah, and the other 2 came when he was really young.
Unlimited. Yeah, he lost to Cap once. Or no, he lost to Alex Smith once.
Yes.
And he lost to Kaepernick once.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, 2013 toward the end of the year, one of the second to last final game
at Candlestick Park. Yep.
And then they also lost to Alex Smith on like a Thursday night.
Thursday night, it was ugly, 13-6.
I think a Giants baseball game was being played at the exact same time.
And that's when Harbaugh was blocking the Seattle T bus.
That's right.
Story. Yeah.
Harbaugh.
I miss you, Harbaugh.
Who do you take right now, Harbaugh or Shanahan? For this year's team. Forget next year. Forget the future.
Oh, man.
Hypotheticals.
Flip a coin.
Hypotheticals.
All right, give me King of the Hill.
3 straight NFC championships, man. 3 straight NFC championships. People want to disrespect Harbaugh. Harbaugh's the best thing to happen to this team in the last 20 years.
With these coordinators, I'm taking Shanahan. With his coordinators, I'll take Harbaugh.
Download the Odyssey app, your favorite 95.7 again to get breaking news updates, as well as links to the top interviews. Of course, Peter King was on with DRK yesterday, and that was one of the best moments on the game, powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. Don't forget about the Rocket Mortgage Pro Football Pick'em. Your picks could be worth $10,000, folks. I'm bouncing back this week. In a big-time way. Sign up today by texting picks to 20357 and just pick the winners of each week's games. No point spreads, no lineups, and it is totally free to enter. Pick the most games right throughout the season. And again, you can win 10 G's. That's $10,000. Are we ready for King of the Hill? Let's go to King of the Hill.
I'm ready.
Sorry about that. You could edit that. My bad.
Gather round, all you fanatics of sports.
I was laughing. I had a skittle coming down my throat.
It's time for Lord Bonte of House Hill to decree the finest 8 football teams and all the NFC. For this is King of the Hill.
Bonte, you are nobody, my dude.
On 95.7 The Game.
All right, what's up, Dame? Haven't heard from you. You know why Dame's chilling? Because the Raiders are 3-0. And before Raider fans get on my head, this is the NFC Power Rankings, not the NFL Power Rankings.
All right, now put your seatbelt on because I'm about to get on your head.
Hey, whoa, Dame. I would have the Raiders in the top 5 in the NFL Power Rankings right now. And the Raiders are going to SoFi Stadium, where I hear 72% of the ticket sales right now have gone to Raider fans. That's going to be a Raider home game against the Chargers on Monday night. A Raider fan, you might be 4-0 after Monday night next week. You might be 4-0. Woo! But that's it for the Raiders right now. Let's go to the NFC Power Rankings.
Number 8.
The New Orleans Saints. So probably a little low. They got a big win in New England, though. Jameis bounced back. Alvin Kamara ran the ball well. That defense stifled McCorkle Jones up there in Gillette Stadium. Saints coming in number 8. Number 7.
Number 7.
Oh, this team was number 2 last week, I believe.
Oh, dramatic fall.
The San Francisco 49ers.
It's like Who was the guy in Game of Thrones who fell from the balcony in the very first episode? It wasn't Joffrey.
Bram.
Bram, thank you. So they're falling like Bram.
Yeah. Bram fell. They fell to number 7. Why? Because there's indecisiveness at the running back position, the indecision with the quarterback position, and the secondary. Buster Screens coming to town. You excited about that, Sasky? Buster Screens coming to play corner for the Niners. No Richard Sherman. No Richard Sherman.
Sherman's done.
You're out on Sherman?
I'm just so done on Sherman.
Did he tick you off last year?
Just start your media career. You gave a 14-minute soliloquy on why you went to the Tampa Bay Bucks. No one else was really ready to sign you. Brady called. Just go there.
Number 6.
The Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers. Rodgers. They're back. They play Pittsburgh this week in Lambeau Field. We saw Devontae Adams. We saw that defense. Green Bay about to start rolling. Matt LaFleur with his FU game against Kyle Shanahan. Did you see the handshake? He didn't even look Shanahan in the eyes.
No.
He said, I don't respect you, Kyle, anymore. I don't respect you. Try to take my quarterback? Ha! Laugh at this, baby. 51 yards in your face, Shanny.
If I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be trying on what that Steeler uniform would look like. Because that's a great destination for him. They got weapons galore, and Big Ben and Matt Ryan just retire in the middle of the season.
And, well, what if he just stays in Green Bay with Devontae Adams? Seems like a good situation with the Green Bay Packers.
Love don't live here anymore.
Oh, who's that by?
Ghostface Killer.
Number 5.
The Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers. I do like Ghostface. Remember he used to wear that big old chain?
The
Eagle.
Yeah.
He's a fool.
Number
big old
5.
chains. Number 5, Carolina Panthers. Hey, what do you know? The Panthers are 3-0. Sam Darnold.
MVP?
That's right. That's another guy the Niners flirted with, and they didn't get their hands on. Sam Darnold. Yeah, we saw that on Get Up, right? Somebody had Sam Darnold as the early season MVP. It's like, yo, pump the brakes. There's a guy named Derek Carr. There's a guy named Tom Brady. There's a guy named Dak Prescott. There's a guy named Teddy Bridgewater. Relax. Big game for the Panthers this week. You know who they play? The Dallas Cowboys at the Star. It's going to be a big game. Let's keep it moving.
Number 4.
Because my number 4 team, I didn't have them in the rankings last week. And it's Brand, not Bram. Thank you, 408.
Elevation sensation from no record at whatever and now to the 4 spot.
Dallas Cowboys are good.
Oh.
They're good. Schultz? Who's this guy? Tight end? I mean, they got a running game. A two-headed monster now with Tony Pollard and Zeke. Dak Prescott looks good. They're throwing the ball down the football field. And a defense. They've got a defense under Dan Quinn, that former coach of the Atlanta Falcons, who everybody bypasses and blames Shanahan for losing the Super Bowl. But the Cowboys are good.
What's the name of that guy?
Dan Quinn.
No, the tight end you're talking about.
Oh, Schultz?
Yeah. Who is Mike
Schultz?
Jones? That's all I kept thinking of.
Who? Darren Schultz. Is it Dallas Schultz? Darren Schultz? I don't even know his name.
Who's number 3?
Dalton.
Number 3.
Dalton Schultz. Dalton.
Number
Very underrated
3.
name. Arizona Cardinals, they're undefeated, and they take on the LA Rams this weekend at SoFi Stadium. 3-0 versus 3-0.
Wow.
I saw the announcing crew. They had the broadcast crew for that
Talib
game.
Again?
No, it should have been Joe Buck, right?
Okay.
Joe Buck and Aikman.
Yeah.
But it's Chris Myers. Chris Myers calling that game. He gets a 3-0 versus 3-0 game. Aqib Talib and Gus Johnson are in Chicago this week for the Lions-Bears game. They're in Chicago for the Lions-Bears game.
That's a weak matchup for them to be on.
Yeah, that's cold.
They need to be one of the primetime groups.
They do. What if they were on the Seahawks-Niners game? That'd make me want to stay home just to listen to the broadcast. All right.
I want to sit at a dinner the night before with Talib and Gus Johnson.
We're going to get Talib on the show.
Oh, God, I love him.
We're going to get Talib on the show.
I legit love him.
I told you I got to talk to him at Media Day.
Oh, yeah?
When the Broncos are in town, I asked him about his jewelry.
Oh.
I was like, man, you're like Floyd Mayweather. It's not, I ain't on Floyd's level, but we do go to the same jeweler, Jacob the Jeweler. Shout out Jacob the Jeweler. Then he showed me the ice with the watch. He showed me the chain. I was like, damn.
Oh. Did he get that jewelry from the 7 dwarfs who were mining it in the tunnel?
No, he did not get it from them. He got it from Jacob the Jeweler. Jacob the Jeweler. Jacob the Jeweler, not the dwarfs.
Okay.
Number 2.
Give it to me, Dr.
Tampa
Evil.
Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Would you have him in the top spot?
No.
Tampa Bay, number 2. Secondary stinks.
And their running back stinks.
Running back stinks. Secondary stinks. I got blown out in L.A.
Hung out on the rim.
Leading to our number one team, the L.A. Rams.
Number 1.
Oh, wow. People are coming at me because Schultz is a Stanford guy.
Oh.
I had no idea he was a Stanford guy.
I didn't know Stanford was still a program.
No, come on. Don't be disrespectful now. Don't be disrespectful. Shout out Jordan Watkins for that. Former Stanford Cardinal offensive lineman. My bad on Mr. Schultz. Did not realize he was at Stanford.
The only Schultz I know is Dr. Schultz.
You just are hitting us
I am
with the
on fire
one-liners.
today.
You are on one fire. L.A. Rams, you shocked they're doing one more team? Look, L.A. Matt Stafford's throwing the ball down a football field. Cooper Kupp looks like one of the best receivers in football. They haven't even got Robert Woods going. You got Sonny Michel running the football.
Yeah.
Henderson Jr.'s hurt. And their defense. Jalen Ramsey's talking smack, and he's roaming the field. So I got the L.A. Rams as the top team with the king of the hill. Rams number 1, Bucks 2, Cardinals 3, Dallas 4, Panthers 5, Packers 6, Niners at number 7, and the Saints at 8.
I think that's generous with the Niners right now.
You should have them lower?
Well, I mean,
Think I should have them lower?
They struggled against Philadelphia. I'm not sure Philly's good. They look great for 2.5 quarters against Detroit, right? They have not looked good since that first half. Like, if you're being fair, it's been ugly. Now, look, you got to win games, and then eventually you don't have to win with style points and whatnot, but I have no confidence. And this matchup against Seattle, this to me is the game we're going to learn everything about the 2021 Niners.
This is a huge game. It's a huge game.
All right? I mean, because one of these teams, whoever loses this one, I feel like is the odd man out in the NFC West and is fighting an uphill battle all year.
You've got to keep pace with the Cardinals and Rams.
Exactly.
They're 3-0. One of those teams is going to be 3-1 unless you get a tie.
Exactly.
Right? You got to keep pace. Let's go to, and then, man, if the Cardinals were to lose, Niners win, you go to Arizona, you give them their second straight loss, you go to the bye 4-1.
That's what I'm saying.
You're sitting
This is a momentum game.
This is a huge momentum game. James in the city. James, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, guys. I wanted to just give you a shout-out. I know you had a caller hating on you this morning, and I just wanted to send you a little bit of love.
Thank you, James. I appreciate that.
James.
It's always good to get a little love. What's on your mind today? Hey, look, James, you probably got haters, too.
Sorry.
You probably got haters.
Yeah, man, I got a young son. He's in middle school.
Okay.
And I drive him to school every day, and I turn on 95.7. I said, this is what real sports talk radio is like, man. I just said, listen to these guys, and especially I love the Butcher Boy when he goes off on a rant and, like, loses his mind. I just love that. And so my son's 11 years old, and every morning on the way to school we listen to you guys, and we just have a blast.
What's your son's name?
Yeah, what is it?
What school do you go to?
It's Hunter. He goes to Francisco over in North.
Oh, yeah, Francisco. Oh, yeah, right here by
Nice.
Washington Park. Yeah.
Nice, very cool. Honestly,
cool.
thank you very much. You made my day with that. I needed that. I've been getting beat up like a punching bag today.
Yeah, no doubt. I've been following you since you were on late night, Butcher Boy. Like I used to like say, who is this wacky guy? And I'm so excited when it came to morning talk radio. So thanks for making my day fun every morning when I get up and go to work, man.
That's what it's about, man. Life is short. Let's have some fun, laugh a little, argue a little. You know, like I always tell everybody, you know, play hard, laugh harder, right?
Absolutely. Love you guys. All right, keep up the good work.
Thank you,
Have a
James.
good one.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
And
you.
shout out Hunter.
Shout out Hunter.
Sweetest 11-year-old out
yeah,
there.
out there, Francisco Middle School.
Yeah, let's do this.
Francisco, baby.
Let's do
go.
this.
You know what? You're not going to be around too long, idiot. You're not gonna...
Hey, you know what? That's what happens. That's what happens, man, when you talk quarterbacks here in San Francisco. It's very emotional. It's very passionate when you talk about the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers and the head coach as well because of the standard set by Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. It gets people irate. I've got people not texting me anymore because they're like, oh, you love Jimmy Garoppolo too much. Screw you. Like, anyone text me, it's like, man, can we get lunch? Nah, I don't like you.
Look, growing up in my household on road games, it would be me and my dad in the living room arguing about, well, my brother was real little. You know, he'd be in there. But I'm talking about at the beginning when Montana was still there, all right? And you had Montana on the sidelines, and Steve Young was the MVP of the league. And there would be times my dad would be like, he ain't no Joe. He ain't no Joe. He ain't no Joe. And when they lost in that NFC Championship game with Joe on the sidelines, my dad would just put in Joe, put in Joe, put in Joe. I mean, this has been happening forever. Now, with 30 years of perspective and the Super Bowl and everything, Steve Young is a beloved ambassador of the 49er fans.
Yep.
But in real time, he got no respect. No respect.
No respect.
I mean, no respect.
But
so this is not exclusive to just Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm not putting him in Steve's category. I'm just using that as an example of what that quarterback position does to this fan base. And it's been passed on. Garcia got it. Alex Smith got it. Colin Kaepernick sure as hell got it. We know Jimmy Garoppolo's gotten it. Did you see what we did to Nick Mullins?
Nah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
And they'll do it to Trey Lance one day.
They will, absolutely.
Whether
and you
he's
know
good
what?
or bad,
No doubt.
he will get criticized.
And no
Best
doubt.
believe.
No doubt. Look, the Kaepernick Alex Smith thing, boy, that was a hot topic.
I got a buddy, Jimbo, who
topic.
still comes. He comes to do the fantasy football
Right.
draft. This is, 3, 4, 5
He
weeks
still
ago.
says they shouldn't have benched
This
Alex
is what
Smith.
he says to me. Alex Smith would have won us at least 2 Super Bowls. I'm like, get out of here.
Stop it.
And I want to choke him out.
Yeah.
And I still scream and yell with him to this day over it being the right move. They hung 45 on Green Bay in a playoff game with
Alex
Kaepernick.
Smith never does that.
He was never going to hang up 45.
Alex Smith couldn't hang up 45 on a Saints defense that was atrocious with 4 turnovers. Drew Brees and company committed 4 turnovers, and you still needed a last-second drive to win that football game. Nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about that.
Alex Smith couldn't hang up 40 if I gave him Madison Bumgarner's jersey and a hanger.
Wow. That was
like the worst one I've got today.
That was pretty bad.
It was bad.
It was pretty bad. It was so bad it was good. So bad it was good. Alex Smith ain't coming back for 17-0 down against the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC Championship game on the road in the Georgia Dome. Let's go to James in Palo Alto. James, you're on the roast. What's happening?
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you taking my call. I do want to say that Coach Shanahan is a bonehead. He, of course, the biggest decision that he's made that's terrible is not playing Trey Lance. But I'm going to skip on that for now. His time management at the end of the game was atrocious. Not what you'd be paying someone millions of dollars to do. Why did he kick off out of the end zone and use no time? Why didn't he kick a split kick or at least make the guy field, run to the sidelines to save time? After all, they got down and spiked the ball with 2 seconds left. The guy, if he sprinted to the sideline to save time, would have taken at least 2 seconds. But he should not have had his kickoff go out of the end zone and take no timeout. That was a crazy play. If he needs to call a timeout and get his wits together, get his thoughts together, that's fine. But the guy's paid millions of dollars to be thinking about these things. He showed no thought, no ideas, no ways to win the game. The guy is a bonehead.
Wow.
That's what I got for you.
Damn. I'm not going that far. I'm not calling Shanahan a bonehead. He's not a dummy.
It's a blind spot for him at this point.
It is.
Agree?
We're 4 years in, 5 years in.
Well, like you're driving in the car, right? And you can't see everything, right? There's going to be a flaw. There is no perfect coach.
No.
Bill Belichick cannot draft wide receivers to save his life.
Can't.
Okay? Cannot do it. He just can't do it. And this year, if we really, outside of a couple free agents, Stephon Gilmore being one of them, he has not done well in free agency.
Who is it? Adalius Thomas, I want to say, from Baltimore. Whiffed. He's whipped on some high-priced ones.
He really has.
He's whipped on some high-priced ones.
And so, he is not above reproach. I think Bill Walsh at times was a little too cute for his own good.
Yep.
Obviously.
It happens.
It totally happens. Everyone's got flaws. There's no doubt about it.
But
Shanahan
clock management,
and the clock is real.
Well, you know what Sean McVay did?
He's
got a clock guru next to him. Go get you a clock guru. Does Shanahan have a clock guru?
McVay feels much more inclusive. Not that we don't know Kyle, because what we know from him is what we see at a podium. But just the sense I get from him, he seems to be very inclusive on new ideas, new people come to the table. Not that he's not bright and everything. I just see him more like CEO style. Whereas I look at Kyle and I look at him, if we were using a tech company analogy, McVay strikes me as a guy who could do a little programming for computer programming, but he's more of like a CEO, shake hands, smile, make people feel good, drive up venture capitalists to want to invest. Whereas I look at Shanahan, I'm like, he's deep in the weeds on computer programming. He's developing this app from scratch. I don't know if I necessarily want him meeting the investors. He's like a little too wacky.
Yeah,
Do you get where I'm going?
Call. Yeah, I get what you're going. I get where you're going. By the way, 650, sending love to Joe Shasky this morning. I got him ranked number 9 in my 95-70 game personality power rankings. Hey, Shasky, you know what I say to that? At least you're ranked. I'm not even honorable mention here. I don't even get a receiving vote. Damn.
I am number 9. What about 103 wins before we get out of here? 103 wins. What a freaking season from these San Francisco Giants.
What a season. You want to get to AJ real quick? We got AJ on hold. Let's get AJ and we'll finish up with Giants.
That's fine. We'll clear the decks.
Let's clear the deck. What's up, AJ?
Hey, guys, I'm tired of this, quarterback that. I only got 3 words for you guys. Defense wins games. Have a good day, guys.
Defense was bad on Sunday. Defense was bad. They've got to clean some things up with DK Metcalf, Chris Carson, and Tyler Lockett coming to town. It's not going to be easy.
No, this is not a championship defense. But I also didn't think Kansas City was a championship defense in 2019.
And they figured out a way.
But they got better down the stretch.
And they got stops when they needed to.
And they also had an all-world quarterback and an all-world offense. So you don't have to have elite defense 24/7, 365 throughout the year. But it's got to be complimentary. And right now, the Niners are not playing complimentary football. They don't hold on to the ball enough in the first half. They don't run the ball well enough to set up play action to be able to take strikes down the field. And they certainly don't cover anyone right now.
No doubt. Fred Warner Jr., overrated, according to Jonathan in the city. Jonathan was all woody yesterday.
No.
He was on one. Let's finish over with the Giants.
Yeah.
103 wins. 2 up on the Dodgers with 5 to play. Got Alex Wood on the mound today.
Big one for him.
103 wins. Has it hit you yet that they've won over 100 games?
No, it honestly feels like a crazy dream. But then you watch every night, and it's like Craw made like 3 diving plays last night, and you're just like, how's he still doing this? Yeah. Buster Posey comes up with 2 outs, boom, drive into left center, boom, immediately, and you're like, damn, that bat looks fresh. How does it look so fresh so late in the year? Every single guy on this team is contributing. And I thought Logan Webb looked okay, but he needs a day off in terms of skipping a start, and that's why it's so important that they could just finish this NL West out. I feel like I can't breathe till they win the NL West.
Yeah, you can't.
And then I'll have a moment to be able to savor it. But right now, I feel like I'm in the middle of the marathon.
But you know what? That's the reality of this. You can't breathe right now because the Dodgers are winning.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are winning, and they're 2 back, and it's like, how much are the Padres going to give you? Are the Padres going to get 1 win at Dodger Stadium?
I don't trust the Padres to help the Giants at all. I expect them to try to come out and sweep the Giants.
And then the Brewers. What are the Brewers going to do this weekend at Dodger Stadium?
Brewers have the best pitching staff. Right now, it's Dodgers and Brewers pitching staffs that you have to be worried about.
But are they going to play their guys?
I don't know. Yelich is a guy, if you look at his raw numbers, and I told you, hey, Milwaukee's going to be the 3rd best team in baseball, you'd be like, with Yelich doing that? That's how good their pitching is right now.
And I felt like he had some good moments down the stretch. Now, they've kind of shut it down. Then Cardinals beat them up, too. Cardinals beat up the Brewers over the last couple weeks. You've got to win tonight. I guess you just got to take care of your own business. Flem said it better. Flem said it the best yesterday. Dave Fleming, who joins us every single week here on the Morning Roast. Dave Fleming said just take care of business game by game.
Exactly.
Just win tonight's game and worry about the rest later.
And the micro game within the game, is Duvall going to get another shot at closing?
Oh, yes, he
is. And is Rogers going to stick in the 8th inning?
I actually think Duvall's going to be the closer now.
You've come all the way around. You've met me. You know what I feel like? You know, at the end of the Titanic, I think I've seen the Titanic once. You know when
never watched the Titanic.
When they're like hugging on
That's the point. We know the boat hit an iceberg. And I'm sorry that all those people lost their lives. I really am. But why do I need to watch that?
Well, I knew 300 that they were all going to die. Right?
No, I
and
didn't
I
know
still
that
watched it. It was awesome.
I didn't know that with 300.
I mean, come on.
Is that based on a true story?
What is it? Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, where they're like hugging each other and they're on the deck of the boat? That's Bonte and me embracing now that he's realized that Camilo Duvall is the closer.
But you're on a sinking ship. It wasn't a great embrace that they were having. It was one of the saddest embraces in movie history.
Was the sink? Oh, I didn't know the boat was sinking. See, there's a hole in my game. Titanic is not in my repertoire.
Titanic is not.
I told my mom I went to see the Titanic freshman year in high school like 10,000 times. It was like a 4-hour movie. It was longer than a Giants game. And so it allowed me to stay out as long as I possibly could.
What else could happen to the boat besides it sinking? It just hits the iceberg and stays there?
But this is why
people freeze to death.
This is, before we end the show, and it's great that the Giants won 103 games. This is why I'm like, all you suckers who went to go pay for the movie, why do you want to watch this movie? It's a sad movie. You know people are going to die. You know this big old boat hit an iceberg, and it's a sad story. Why do you want to put yourself through that for 4 hours? Those are 4 hours in your life you cannot get back. And there's suckers out there who's watched this movie over 20 times.
Well, there are other sad movies that I will watch that I love. Glory is a great movie that is extremely sad that I hold in high regard. Tell me you guys have seen Glory.
Yes, I've seen Glory.
It's one of the most powerful movies that you can watch, right?
Yeah.
So, but that Titanic, I mean, I'm a guy. Guys don't watch that movie.
Well, I mean, you watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You watch Bambi?
Yeah, as a child.
I mean, you still watch it.
I'm not firing it up on a Friday night like.
Dude, you got
I'm
your nieces and nephews.
Star Wars on a Friday
night. You got
night.
your nieces and nephews over, and you guys are watching Snow White while playing Monopoly. Don't you lie to me, Joe Shasky.
Let me turn off PS5 Battlefront and let me put on this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Giants Diamondbacks today. By the way, Bumgarner. It's going to be pitching, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, Bumgarner, I believe.
I think it's
pitching.
Thursday.
Yeah, he's pitching Thursday.
And all I keep thinking about, too, is if they want to let him go in the offseason for cheap, Giants should be all over that.
What's so funny, Langford? What's going on? What,
no,
Langford,
just say
come on. Just say it, man. What's
Did
up?
the boat sink from Titanic? Yes, it sank.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, you said, oh, it sank?
Well, I didn't know that while they were embracing it was sinking. I thought they were in like the middle of the ocean and everything was going good.
It was, but then eventually at the end they were in each other's arms, and then this whole door floating on the ocean, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. My favorite Titanic moment is probably Ghostbusters 2, okay, when the Titanic finally shows up and it's a ghost.
Gosh.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, we're
That's the best Titanic moment.
Giants Diamondbacks tonight. More Warrior practice updates. We even talk Warriors today. Draymond Green hasn't been to training camp yet. He's got an excused absence. We'll see what happens with Draymond Green when he shows up to training camp. But the Warriors are in full effect. They're practicing at Chase. The season's coming, boys. Hey, girls. The season's coming. That's it for us. What a wacky Wednesday.
A train wreck.
What a wacky Wednesday. Have fun, everybody.
You know what? You're not going to be around too long, idiot. You're no good.
Trent Williams joins Damon Ratto and Kolsky today at 4:45.
He is such a powerful and super athletic left tackle.
Number one tackle ever is Trent.
That's the best tackle I faced this year.
Trent made it cool to be an offensive lineman.
Trent Williams today at 4:45. This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.